Okay.
Shabbat shalom.
All right. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. All praise to the Most High, bringing us here today again for another beautiful Sabbath day.
Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe.
As my beautiful wife said, please like, share, and subscribe. Especially if you guys are here on our TikTok page or Facebook. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. All praise to the Most High. I just want to say Shabbat shalom to everyone. Neff, how you doing? Andre Williams, how you doing? Anthony Davis, I got all my brothers in the house. I love
praises.
it. Anita G,
Kathleen,
Miss Kathleen Reed, how you doing? Oh, praises.
Jessica,
Precious Haywood. What's up, Precious? How you doing?
Oh, praises.
Oh, praises. Rael, all praises. How you doing this morning? Rodman, how you doing? Shalom, Mark. Shalom. Rodman says, shalom, family. Hope all is well with everyone. Let praise the Father, Yahuwah, today. Let every voice call upon his name, Yahusha. Let the trumpet blow. All praise the Most High. Let's get some of this spiritual food today. Come on, Rodman. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get some of this spiritual nourishment today.
Soul food.
That's that soul food. Why? Because it's nourishing for the soul. What is your soul? It is your blood. What did the Most High tell you he's going to do with these words of wisdom?
That blood.
He was going to cleanse our blood. And that's what he's doing with this soul food. All praise to the Most High. What we call hidden manna. Manna from the heavens. All praises to the Most High. All right. So before we get started today, we got a couple of announcements to make. Sister Micaiah, you want to go ahead with your announcements that you like to make?
Sure. So for Tabernacles, if you have RSVP that you are coming and you find out that you cannot make it, please let us know ASAP.
Oh, praise to the Most High.
Also, if you haven't made your final payment, please try to have those in before October the 5th so we can go ahead and finish paying for the site. Also Sunday. Now you're doing a men's
study? Tomorrow we'll do a men's study.
Okay.
If it's the Most High's will at 1:00.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll do one. Also,
now I'm supposed to be doing a committee meeting at 1 tomorrow.
What's got to do with me?
Because some of the brothers are on the committee.
They won't be on the committee meeting. They'll be on mine. So y'all women do the committee meeting. So the brothers, we're going to have.
So I'll record it.
Yeah, just record it. We can always get it back. But brothers, we need to have a meeting tomorrow. Definitely. So whatever your committee meeting, let the ladies do it. And then we can always join it anyway. Because the men are just pretty much cooking and helping with the basics. So, it'll be fine.
All right. So I'll record it.
Okay. Also, with the tabernacle, something I wanted to talk about. I want to go ahead and do maybe on Thursday of next week, go over all the things they'll need for tabernacle. We need to go over that, what they should bring.
Yeah, we did send a list out as well in the Evite. So check your Evite messages as well for that list. But yeah, when do you want to go over that? Thursday?
Maybe Thursday. Yeah, Thursday I'm thinking. Or maybe a Tuesday or Wednesday. But something definite for everybody because it's always going to be recorded. So one day next week, when me and my wife find the extra time, if it's not, it may be a Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday night, we're going to go over and I'm going to go on Amazon and show you guys some of the things you need. I'll just do a screen share and show people what they'll need for tabernacle. Because it's so important that when you come out there that you're comfortable,
Yes, and they have so much now where you can be comfortable when camping. All praises to the Most High.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, because my wife, boy, Jim the Cricket, boy, she used to see a fly, boy, she was having a fit.
Well, I was just talking to my sister yesterday about it, and she was like, I'm not ready yet for tabernacles, but I explained to her, I said, listen, they have so many things, like even those, they have these yurts now.
What is that?
They're like little huts, really. For people who don't want to do the tent, that's a booth too.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, it really is.
No,
have you seen it?
Because they're stationary, right? They're not something you tear down or break down.
Oh no, you can't break it down.
It's not.
That's true.
There's a stationary That's not what Feast of Booths about. We're supposed to take sticks, palm branches, it says temporary dwellings.
Right.
It's temporary. So anything that's stationary is not considered to be what the Most High told us to do, not according to Scripture.
Yeah, I told her start there, though. I did tell her start there and then work her way, because
no, she just needs to come out. I mean, it's not what they think. It's
we've
really
been so
nice.
far removed. But I explained to her, I said they have so many things right now to make camping so convenient and comfortable.
We call it glamping, not camping.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we got portable potties in our tents.
Yep, the portable sinks.
Portable sinks.
We have showers with heat.
You know, and I had brother Ash was like that with his wife. He goes, you know, me and my wife, we got a portable shower. And I said, well, Ash, you can bring it, you know, but why do that when the showers are 20 feet away?
Right. Well, yeah, at that site, it is.
We got showers.
They have showers there where we are and in the front.
Yeah. So if you're in the wilderness, of course, when we go out, you know, or if you're going camping, those are really good. But we're doing this in remembrance of, you know, what our ancestors did throughout our generations. Not only that, we'll be doing it when the millennial time, and we'll be doing it when the world is made new again. The Most High says anyone doesn't come to the Feast of Tabernacle when he makes a new heaven and new earth, that their land will not receive rain. But these are supposed to be temporary dwellings. So that's pretty deep on that. We're going to talk today about, you know, we've been going through Deuteronomy, and we've been going through also other books. One of the main books is the Book of the Upright, the Book of Jasher. We're going to be reading Jasher chapter 47 through probably about 50. I think I put 48 through 49, but we're going to go, as I was, you know, really Holy Spirit say, I want you to start at 47 and read to about 50. And then I want you to break down Joseph, his name, was Zephnath Paneah, which is what the Pharaoh ended up naming him once he interpreted his dreams, and once he said, you know what, I'm gonna put you second in command, but I'm going to give you a new name. So we're going to break that down, and then we're going to look at the parallels of that when the Most High says he's going to be storing up storehouses of wisdom and knowledge, which is symbolic, what, you know, because right now there's a famine of what?
Knowledge
and wisdom.
Truth is being cast to the ground. Y'all are witnesses to that.
You just said someone just mentioned that today. Who was that? You just told me about.
At the UN, the Bahamian or Barbados representative there.
What'd she say?
UN. She was saying it's a crisis of truth.
There it goes.
Why did she say truth is a crisis?
Yeah, because there's a flood of disinformation.
Come on.
So there's a flood on the earth, but it's of disinformation. But what the Most High did with our people, and not only us, but the handmaids and servants, people who got good spirits, or as I say, Abraham's spirit, he stored up wisdom and knowledge, just like Joseph did. And what we would call that is hidden manna, is knowledge and wisdom that was stored up a long time ago for these times of famine, because there's a famine in the land, truly, of wisdom and knowledge. So we're going to kind of go over that a little bit as well. So what else you got? What else we got for announcements? Did you get all the announcements for the most part? Okay, so Tabernacle is going to be
for those of you who want to learn more about setting up your trust, and you're not in the Telegram group. So tomorrow, or if you are and you want to bring your questions, Vince and I will be live about 4:30 or 5 o'clock tomorrow on YouTube to go over that as well.
And I'll try to make sure I'm on there as well. So that'll be a beautiful thing. All praise to the Most High. All right. And then for those who are asking me about those things, like I tell people, you know, as a moray, I'm so busy dealing with a lot of people's issues and things they're dealing with, and, you know, things that pertain to the ministry. It's hard for me to help people with those things. And I've set up people like a Hishamark and other brothers to help out. And you just have to pay them a small fee, because time is money and money is time. Now, saying that, we're not going to talk about it on the Sabbath, but I just want to say that we do have people to help during these times as well. And when it gets really bad, people call us right or wrong. And they say, hey, listen, I need some answers, you know?
Well, I had one sister reach out to me yesterday, and I just gave her Vince's number to call. And he directed her on what to do, you know? So, listen, there's a support system in the community. So
right now, the Most High is really, really waking us up to come out of that minority status to become majority, to become owners of our identity. And this is one of the main reasons why he said we surname ourselves Israel again in the last days, that we would claim back what was taken from us. And so all of this thing is not by force, not by might, but there's a spirit that's moving everybody right now. And if you're not noticing on this earth, I saw in Denmark the other day, actually a couple of days ago, that the so-called drones are back, so they say, but we know that they're chariots, and they were all over the skies in the European nations. Mm-hmm. And they were asking Trump, what do you think about it? And he's like, they're everywhere. And, and I think it's kind of funny that they're trying to spin it and put it on Russia.
Right.
And Putin's like, listen, I got my own UAPs over here. We got we see them everywhere too. If you notice, when these so-called UAPs or these drones are flying, they're not drones, they're actually chariots. They can't do anything. You notice they don't send any jet fighters up.
Right, they're not shooting them down.
Because they know they can't do anything with them. Those weapons of indignation are our weapons. Everything you see in the skies right now are for the children of Israel and also the other nations, the handmaids and servants, who are going to be gathered, those who are going to be taken to a new land. So they're here spying out the lands right now. They're also scanning the earth for all those who have to be resurrected. They're also scanning like airports, just like the Denver airport and other airports. They've covered up holy sites with these airports. When you go through the Grand Canyon, a lot of what we knew and our ancestors knew is completely hidden. That's why 90% of the Grand Canyon, you cannot go through it. Even your maps, when they told us that the continents were completely broken up through the Great Pangea, which was called the Great Pangea, through the great earthquakes, it's not what you think. A lot of these continents still are connected. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things that we've been told or that have been whitewashed are being revealed right now.
Yeah.
And the Most High sealing his servants. One thing he's doing, it's a time of revelation, a time of revealing, a time of sealing, and also a time of healing. He's healing our wounds.
And he is unsealing information.
Absolutely. This is as he said in the last days, there'll be many highways of what?
Knowledge. He says seals will be broken as well.
They're being broken.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is that he has to pour his spirit out on those chosen ones who he wants to teach. And so what he does is he gives them the ability to teach where people can understand it like a 3-year-old. Mm-hmm. It's not, complex. It's not, hidden. These things are being revealed right now. Hidden treasures. Now they're being revealed. Say a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father in heaven, blessed be Adonai Yahuwah. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for bringing us today together again on another Sabbath day, Heavenly Father. A day hallowed, that you said was between us and you, Abba. You said you did not give it to the other nations, but your children, Israel. Thank you, Abba. Thank you so much for waking us up so that we can give these lessons and give understanding and give peace in a time of no peace, to give light in a place of darkness, to give direction when most people's feet are on the wrong path. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for healing our infirmities. For so many of us have been mentally sick. We've been spiritually sick, but yet you sent out your hand. You put it out forward, Heavenly Father. And now you have us in the palms of your hands and guiding us, showing us the light, showing us the way. I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for the whole flock, Israel, our people, and also the handmaids and servants who are here today. I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving us your son, Yeshua. Bless you, Yeshua, bless you. For we know without you, we would not be able to see the Father, that we would not have an intervention. Thank you for leaving the Ruach HaKodesh. Bless you so much. Abba, I pray right now for all those who are dealing with problems with their children, that you give them peace and understanding and light, and also to remind them of the days when they were like their children, when they did things out of ignorance and stupidity. But now that you have brought them into the light, I pray that you give them wisdom on how to guide their children and how to move, Heavenly Father, in a peaceful way. There's so many kids right now, Abba, being thrown on the streets. They have no understanding where to go or how to move. But then I also pray, Heavenly Father, for those who are disrespectful, who don't care about what their parents say, who put fear in their parents, that you cast them out as our ancestors did, Heavenly Father. I pray that you give understanding to the married couples here. those, Heavenly Father, who strife and go back and forth with each other. I pray that you have them evenly yoked. Cast Satan, Beelzebub, Lucifer, the adversary, away from these marriages, Abba. For you said that a marriage and a family are building blocks of a nation. Well, Abba, thank you so much for building our nation again. You said that you would pick 12,000 from each tribe. And Abba, we see it right now. We know that you're choosing your children to help govern all the 144,000 with the 12 elders. And thank you so much, Abba, with the 24 elders, Heavenly Father. Thank you so much for giving us understanding on your order, how the new kingdom will be, who will reign, and how we should walk, talk, and how we should walk in righteousness. I pray that you bless this lesson, bless our homes, bless our souls, Heavenly Father. And I pray that we bless Yeshua, our King, priest, and prophet. More than anything, blessed be you, El Shaddai. You are King of kings and God of gods, for there is no other God but you. I pray these things in the name of your Son, Yeshua, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, praise to the Most High. Hallelujah. So I think we've said hello to a couple of people here. All praises to the Most High. I'm so glad that I can see you guys here this morning. Tribe of Judah, Shabbat Shalom as well.
Also, one other announcement about the baptism. We do have availability in December. So for those of you that 21st. Want to be baptized,
right,
it's important that you message us right away so we can count, start getting a head count on that to see if we have enough people to actually rent out the facility.
Right.
All right.
So that's going to be 770-276-5840. 770-276-5840. Also give me your number. They can go ahead and
678-559-9151.
Tell them again.
678-559-9151.
Oh, praise.
I don't know if I have a moderator on there. If so, on TikTok, if y'all could post it for me.
Appreciate it.
If I have a moderator on YouTube.
What's up, Ramon? How you doing, my brother? Ridgeway, how you doing? Cheryl Sparrow.
Is Ramon the same as Arturo Perez?
No, I don't know. Ramon, is it Arturo Perez? I want to make sure here. She had a question about that, Ramon. If you can go ahead and answer that for me, I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate it if you can. I know it's Ramon Perez. It might be the same one. I'm not sure. Ramon, if you can hear me, go ahead and let me know if that's you, Arturo Perez as well. If not, I'll ask him later. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see where we at here. Yazuri, how you doing, sis? I hope pray all is well.
Shabbat shalom, sis.
Praises. We want to keep Yazuri in prayer. She had some things she disclosed to me she's going with. So everyone here is a family. I want to pray for my sister as well. We got a few sisters that are going through some things and brothers, and as a family, we pray for each other and we let the Most High guide us through these things, Jessica Reeves is also, I want to pray for Jessica. She's another beautiful lady, a beautiful spirit. I want to make sure we give her a prayer out and as well. So there's a lot of people going through changes here, on this earth. And this is the fire we're going through, that's all it is. Harold Jackson, shalom, my brother. I love you. Doing Levon.
Shalom.
Basil Israel, how you doing, Basil? Angela James, how you doing? Des Nevu, what's going on, Des? All praises.
Shalom, shalom.
Des, I have used those products that you gave me as well. And I did the way you told me, but Des, you look like you have Puerto Rican or something. I ain't got that hair texture you got. I got a lot of Judah, so mine ain't curl up like yours. It just did a little something.
You got your spikes though.
Yeah, well, my daughter says she's gonna, what she call that thing? Crochet or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking that's some needle and thread in my head. I'm like, I don't know how to do that there. And they start laughing at me. My wife said, no, silly. They're not going to be needle and thread your head. That's what they do with your hair.
Somebody said, I
Let
want
it grow
to go, please.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. You went past it.
I don't know. There's so many messages here.
Yeah.
All praise to the Most High. I want to say hi also. Who do you got over there? JoJo Dancer, how you doing, sis? All praise is the Most High. All right. What she said, made in his image, no religion, just religious. Come on. That's what I'm talking about.
Relationship over religion.
Say it again. Relationship over what?
Over religion.
We preach relationship over what? Over religion. It's that relationship you got with Messiah. Remember, he has to come into your temple and sup with you in order for you to get to the kingdom. But if you don't have faith, how can you ever get there?
Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate
how
it.
you
Oh,
doing?
praises.
All right. Oh, praises to the Most High. All right. So what we want to do is let's go to the book of Jasher first. I want to read Jasher, and what I'm going to do is at the end we want to go with second Ezra, fourth Ezra, and read a little bit. But that's what everyone's homework assignment needs to be, that you finish reading those chapters. They're not even long whatsoever. They're real short. But before we get into that, we've been talking about the Torah and how when you deal with the Torah, which are the first 5 books of any Bible, that the Torah is a blueprint for us to tell us how we should walk, how we should talk, how we should move through the earth. That's called the law, judgments, statutes, and commandments. Now, we know because the Old Testament has been renewed with the new covenant, with the renewed testament or the renewed covenant, that the letter of the law could not save us. Why couldn't it save us, Sister Micaiah?
Well, it couldn't change our insides.
Right.
That's the thing.
So we needed something spiritual, holy, something that convicts us to change our insides. So that's why he had to bring the word, his bosom, the same spirit that he put into Yeshua. You understand? When he was born, that spirit that he put into him, he allowed that spirit to permeate through us when we walk right, talk right, and more importantly, when we think right. And so now that renewed covenant, the Torah should be done in your what? In your heart. That's the circumcision of the heart and the mind now. Old covenant, it was a physical circumcision of the flesh. Mm-hmm. But now it's a circumcision of the heart and the mind. That means you should be doing it because you're convicted, because the Holy Spirit is working in you to do what's right. Because you put on white garments, you put on new clothing, which is what? Righteousness. Walking in righteousness means that you put on new garments, new clothing. What you got to add to that, Sister Micaiah?
Well, in the scripture, it says, Yahusha said, you have to be born again. There are 3 baptisms. It doesn't stop at the water.
No.
Okay, you got to be baptized by water, spirit, and fire.
You got to go through.
So that is why so many righteous go through fiery trials.
Yes.
But also, when you are baptized in the Holy Spirit, you are now, your spirit is being merged with the spirit of the Most High.
That's it.
Okay, that's a
when key thing.
True change happens.
That's the key thing she said. Your spirit is being merged with the Ruach HaKodesh.
To produce what? Good fruit.
Good fruit.
What are the fruits of the Holy Spirit? Mm-hmm. It's in Galatians. It tells you those are the things you will produce. There's no law against those things.
And you cannot get in the kingdom unless you're good fruit. He's not going to take any bad fruit into the kingdom. That's why he says, don't boast against the natural branch, because there's a tree. But on that tree, there's branches, and those branches produce fruit. And so a lot of times our people have been broken off because of the iniquities and because of the sin that we've been doing, because we don't know what the Torah is. We don't know his laws. And that's why we're going back through the Torah, and we're going to start breaking things down. So today I'm just going to read Jasher, and it kind of expounds upon things that were written in the Bible. But Jasher means the book of the what? Upright.
And it is referenced in Joshua and a couple of other scriptures.
Right.
So you know that it should have been in the Bible.
Absolutely. Where it was, Constantine and the Vatican took them out.
Right.
Yeah, so Constantine, he's the one. Ignatius Iotis was the first to come in and change things. But when Constantine came through and took pagan doctrine mixed with Christian doctrine. And the main thing they did was they took hundreds of our books away. Literally, we got hundreds of books that they've taken and hid in the Vatican underneath. And the Smithsonian has so much of our history hidden. And that's why your Pharaoh, when he did what he did, I applauded him and I don't applaud these pharaohs whatsoever. But when he said, you know what, I'm going to sign an executive order for them to release the records and document everything. And I want everything to be released. I know that the Most High is swaying his heart. He's doing that. So, and that's what he does. He sways these kings' heart to bring out this truth. So what we want to do is I'm going to read the book of Jasher, chapter 47. I'm going to start with, and probably could take it to 50. So me and my wife are just going to take turns reading. a little bit, and then we're going to go from there and just get a little deeper understanding of what Joseph was really doing and why Joseph had to store up this corn. It was really to save our people. And this is one of the main reasons why the Most High says when the new kingdom comes, that there will be three forms of rulership. You'll have actually Yeshua, who's the groom. We're the what? Bridegroom. That's the first rulership. Who's the second? The Egyptians.
Oh, okay, the Egyptians and the Assyrians.
Mm-hmm. So those are the three rulership classes that will be ruling on this new earth when it's made new again in Revelation 21. Saying that all these other nations who, as Second Baruch said, didn't do anything to us, and didn't know who we were, and didn't really beat us down, they will have a kingdom. But those nations who knew who we were, beat us down, they will never exist again.
And we know Edom will never have a kingdom again.
Edom are not allowed to have a kingdom again, because you see what they're doing on the earth right now.
And the book of Obadiah makes that crystal clear.
Makes it crystal clear. So Edom is the only nation that will never ever have a kingdom again. And we know that Moab, Gog, Magog, and these guys will actually still have a kingdom again, because remember, after millennial time, after the 1,000 years is up, they're going to be as numerous as what? The sands of the sea. And they're going to come up against us in unwalled cities on our land that, Yeshua is taking us to. That's when they're going to try to come up against us. Mm-hmm. And when they do, he's going to destroy them with the sword of his mouth. And this is when the flesh is going to melt off their bodies and their eye sockets, it's going to consume. A lot of people get that mixed up with nuclear warfare. Well, I don't think you can get any more nuclear than the words of the Messiah. You understand? So that's truly where the flesh is going to melt off, is when he speaks it. And then all of a sudden, their body's going to rot away. It says in Second Baruch that our people, when they look at not just our people, but other people who got light of other nations, that what they're going to do is see these people turn to a bright light. But then all of a sudden, they're going to start melting away. So this is why it's important to get these books where you can put rhyme to reason. A lot of people read, but they have no comprehension or understanding. So I'm going to be in the Book of Jasher. For all you guys and gals out there who don't know what we read from the Sefer. The Sefer has the King James 1611 with apocryphal books, has a lot of the Dead Sea Scroll books, and it has a lot of the books that the Vatican took away that we've been talking about. Jasher, the Book of the Upright, was one of them. Jubilees is another one that's in here. Enoch is in here. The Book of Susanna, the Maccabees. You were just telling me someone was talking about the Maccabees, how they were so excited reading it. I overheard you talking yourself.
Yeah. The sister was talking about it. Yeah. But what's interesting when you say the Maccabees, how about that's still in the Catholics' Bible? Absolutely. But they took it out of everybody else's. Yeah,
because they don't want anyone to understand and know that whenever we've had fear and we've done things out of fear, we were destroyed. But whenever we, step up and do things in faith, know who we are as the people, we've always been preserved. And not only that, when you go through Maccabees and learn how our people had a sense of urgency for their faith. Not only urgency, one woman watched 7 of her children lose their lives because they would not eat pork. They would not defile themselves and eat pig.
Mm-hmm. Another really good point in the Maccabees is to use discernment. Like you had one group of Israelites that was being attacked and they didn't want to fight because it was the Sabbath. But then you had another group of Israelites who said, no, we're going to fight. They fought on the Sabbath and the Most High blessed them and gave them victory.
Israel, I want y'all to understand something. It's not time for us to have fear, period.
Or be foot mats.
Or foot mats for any nation. And this is why we don't get on here beating down other camps, groups, or people of our people. If you have any ill with your brethren, does not the scripture say, and you're not going to judge angels? How can you not judge amongst yourselves? We should always take it off camera and talk to each other, text each other, whatever, and discuss these things. We should not ever have any discussions that are bringing brothers and sisters down on the internet, because that's what it is. It's a net to snag you so that you go down in the mire. We should be having faith and walking in righteousness. You understand? I think about Peter when he was walking on the water. Remember that? Mm-hmm. When his faith wavered, what happened? He started sinking in the mire. He started sinking in the mire. So we got to understand that we got to make sure that our faith doesn't waver, because whenever our faith don't waver, we can walk on top of water, baby.
I'm telling you, and turbulent times are here. It's going to get more turbulent.
And a lot of people are being tossed to and fro.
Come on.
They're being tossed to and fro with this flood of disinformation. So let's get some wisdom. Let's get some light. Let's make sure that we can take flight. Let's go ahead and read Jasher, chapter 47.
Yeah.
I'm going to start at Jasher, chapter 47. It says, "And Yitzhak, son of Abraham, was still living in those days in the land of Canaan. He was very aged, 180 years old." Who is Yitzhak, Sister Micaiah?
That's Isaac.
That's Isaac.
Abraham's son from Sarah.
All praises. "And Esau, his son, and the brother of Jacob, was in the land of Edom, and he had his sons and had possessions in it amongst the children of Seir. And Esau heard that his father's time was drawing nigh to die, and he and his sons and household came to the land of Canaan, to his father's house. And Jacob and his sons went forth from the place where they dwelt in Shevron, and they all came to their father's Yitzhak. And they found Esau and his sons in the tent. And Jacob and his sons sat before his father Yitzhak. And Jacob was still mourning his son Joseph, because at this time, we know what had happened. What had happened to Joseph, Sister Micaiah?
Joseph had been taken, but Jacob thought he was dead,
unalive. Yeah. And when Yitzhak said to Jacob, "Bring me hither your sons, and I will bless them." And Jacob brought his 11 children before his father Yitzhak, because we know the 12th, which Joseph was taken to where? Egypt. And Yitzhak placed his hands upon all his sons, the sons of Jacob, and he took hold of them and embraced them and kissed them one by one. And Yitzhak blessed them on that day. And he said to them, "May the Elohim of your fathers bless you and increase your seed like the stars of heaven for number." So as elders and as the men of the families, what should we be doing with our grandbabies? What should we be doing with our children?
Blessing them.
We should be blessing them. You should be laying your hands on them. And you need to have them come together. And you go in a circle and everyone holds hands and you bless them. And we always bless each other with a kiss when we would greet each other, right or wrong. So he kissed them as well, which meant that it was eternal. It was something that was sacred. This is deep.
Do you know other nations still do this before they pass away?
And they learned that
they'll bless their family members, and
remember that when you deal with the Prophet Muhammad, he came to the Jews to get the first 5 books. So they picked up a lot of our ways because they came to us and learned these things. All right. Verse 6, it says here, I'm in the Book of Jasher, chapter 47, verse 6. "And Yitzhak also blessed the sons of Esau, saying, May Elohim cause you to be a what? A
dread and a terror.
I want y'all to get
to
this.
all.
So when he blessed his sons and said that they will be as numerous as the sands of the sea. Remember, Israel, our people, was numerous as what? The sands of the sea. But he said in the last day we be a what? Remnant. But he said something about the brother, the twin in the womb, born red and hairy, like a hairy garment. If you slap him, he red. When he get mad, he's red. And we actually call him redneck. But what did he say? He said that he will be a terror and a dread
to all.
To all.
That will behold you, and to all your enemies.
And to all your enemies. So even his enemies, he will be a terror and a dread to them. This is why you see so much hardship put on the earth by Esau, who was given Mount Seir. From Mount Seir, he moved to Basra. From Basra, he went to Ukraine. This is the 10 European nations. And these people, you understand, were Japheth's children. Japheth's children and Esau's children. They mixed together now. This is the 10 European nations as you know them today. This is where the drones or the so-called UAPs are over their lands right now. Why? Because judgment is here.
Come on.
Judgment is here. Judgment is here. And they see it. They know it. It says here in verse 6, this is Book of Jasher, chapter 47, verse 6. And Yitzhak also blessed the sons of Esau, saying, May Elohim cause you to be a dread and terror to all that will behold you and to all your enemies. And Yitzhak called Jacob and his sons, and they all came and sat before Yitzhak. And Yitzhak said to Yaakov, or Jacob, Yahuwah Elohim of the whole earth said unto me, unto your seed will I give this land for an inheritance. If your children guard what?
My statutes
so
and my ways.
How do we get the land for an inheritance?
Guarding the Most High statutes and his ways.
He said he's going to gather us from the four corners of the earth by the angels. That's the ones that you see coming down now over all the European nations. But they're coming to take us where?
Back to our land.
Back to our land. But in order to get to our land, what did he just say we need to do?
Guard his statutes and his ways.
Come on, let's make this plain and simple.
Come on.
All right. It says, and I will perform to them the oath which I swore to your fathers, Abraham. Now, therefore, my son, teach your children.
Come on.
Y'all hearing this?
It's saying you teach your children,
Didn't
not
say we
the enemy.
Them, and not us, but you need to teach your children. But how can you teach them? Can the blind lead the blind?
No.
You're going to lead them into a pit. And a lot of you have led your children into a pit. My people perish for lack of what?
Knowledge.
Let's get this knowledge. It says, now, therefore, my son, teach your children and your children's children to do what?
Fear Yahuwah.
And to go what?
In the good way.
Which pleases who?
Yahuwah.
Not what pleases you. Fear of the Most High is the beginning of what? Wisdom. Knowledge of this world is what? Foolishness. But wisdom comes from where? Above. So stop going in your heart what you think, what you feel. You need to get this blueprint. Living waters. Wash your mind clean. Get rid of that filth.
Feelings are not facts.
Give it here. Say it one more time.
Feelings are not
Feelings
facts.
are not facts, folks.
Come on now.
What you feel don't mean nothing. What you feel do not heal. I want to give you that. What you feel do not heal. The only thing that heals is the Most High's will.
Come on.
That's what heals.
Oh, we bring it out.
It says here, for if you guard the ways of Yahuwah and his statutes, Yahuwah also guards you, his covenant with Abraham, and will do well with you and your seed all the days. And when Yitzhak had finished commanding Yaakov and his children, he gave up his Rawak and he died, and was gathered to his people. And Yaakov and Esau fell upon the face of their father, and Yitzhak, and they wept. And Yitzhak was 180 years old when he died in the land of Canaan, in Chevron. See, you'll never know this, his age or any of that, if you're not reading the book of Jasher. Jasher breaks down the ages, when they left the earth, everything. You see how it fills in the gaps of the Bible? It's beautiful. It says in Chevron, and his sons carried him to the cave of Machpelah, and Abraham had bought, it says, which Abraham had bought from the children of Shet, for possession of a burial place. And all the kings of the land of Canaan went with Jacob and Esau to bury Yitzhak. And all the kings of Canaan showed Yitzhak great honor at his death. And his sons of Jacob and the sons of Esau went barefooted around about, walking and lamenting, until they reached Kiryat Arba. And Jacob and Esau buried their father Yitzhak in the cave of Machpelah, which is in Kiryat Arba, in the Chevron. And they buried him with very great honor, as the funeral of kings. And Jacob and his sons and Esau and his sons and all the kings of Canaan made a great heavy mourning. And they buried him and mourned for him many days.
Now you see, he was royalty.
He was royal. Why? Because he was a king, priest, and prophet on the whole earth. He was ordained from the Most High. You got to remember that. He was royalty. Verse 15, I'm in the book of Jasher, chapter 47, verse 15. And we are reading, for those who just joined, out of our Sefer. Sefer was given to us when we were in Babylonian captivity, and it was given to us by Jeremiah. He had his scribe, Baruch, write it for us. What number are we on?
I want to note too, notice that all the kings of Canaan, so these other nations also recognized his royalty, family.
Yes. What we at? What number?
15, 47 verse 15.
47, 15, all praise the Most High. It says, and at the death of Yitzhak, he left his cattle and his possessions and all the belongings to him, to his sons. And Esau said to Yaakov, behold, I pray you, all that our father has left, we will divide it into two parts. So what did Esau say to his brother?
They're going to divide everything their father left.
Okay, all praise to the Most High. And I will have the choice. And Yaakov said, we will do. So Esau was the oldest, right? What was the custom back in those days, and should be now?
The inheritance will go to the oldest.
Always will go to the oldest, you understand? And so Jacob agreed to it. We will do. And Yaakov took all that Yaakov took all that Yitzhak had left in the land of Canaan, the cattle and the property, and he placed them in 2 parts before Esau and his son. And he said to Esau, behold, all this is before you. Choose to yourself the half which you will like to take. And Yaakov said to Esau, hear you, I pray you. What will I speak to you, saying, Yahuwah Elohim of heaven and earth spoke to our fathers Abraham. And Yitzhak, saying, unto your seed will I give this land for inheritance forever. Now therefore, all that our father has left before you, and behold, all the land is before you. Choose you from them what you desire. If you desire the whole land, take it for you and your children forever. And I will take the riches. And if you desire the riches, take it to you. And I will take the land for me and for my children to inherit it forever. So what did Jacob give him?
He was saying, look, you can choose to take the land or the money, pretty much.
So he had a choice. He had a choice. Jacob was thinking about his children, but Esau was thinking about who? Himself. Verse 20, I'm in the book of Jasher, chapter 47, verse 20. And Nebaioth, the son of Ishmael, was then in the land with his children. And Esau, so who was this man to Esau? His what?
Brother Ishmael. Oh, his nephew. Nebaioth was his nephew.
This was his nephew. All praises. And they went that day to consult with him, saying, thus says Yaakov, spoken to me, and thus has he answered me. Now give your advice, and I will hear. So he's like, okay, Jacob said to me that I can take the land or I can take the money. But I'm asking you.
That's his cousin.
That's his cousin. It's not. Yes, his cousin. So he was saying to his cousin, he was saying, listen, Jacob gave a choice, but what would you do? And this was the advice that was given to him. And Nebaioth said, what is it this that Yaakov has spoken to you? Behold, all the children of Canaan are dwelling securely in their land. And Yaakov says he will inherit it with his seed all the days. How are we going to do that with all these Canaanites? This is what he's thinking, not understanding what the Most High was going to do in the future and remove them. He says, go now, therefore, and take all your father's riches and leave Yaakov your brother in the land as he has spoken. And Esau rose up and returned to Yaakov and did all that Nebaioth, the son of Ishmael, had advised. And Esau took all the riches that Yitzhak had left, the souls, and get this, and the souls and the beasts and the cattle and the property and all the riches, and he gave nothing to his brother Yaakov. And Yaakov took all the land of Canaan from the brook of Mitzrayim to the river Pereth, and he took it for an everlasting possession, and for his children and for his seed after him forever. So who was Jacob thinking about?
He was thinking about his children.
He was thinking about us. He was thinking about us. All praise to the Most High. And Yaakov also took from his brother Esau the cave of Machpelah, which is in Chevron, which Abraham had brought from Ephraim for a possession and burial place for him and his seed forever. Verse 26, the book of Jasher, chapter 47, verse 26. And Yaakov wrote all these things in a sefer of purchase, and he signed it, and he testified all this for faithful witness. And so saying that, I think about this, he actually signed that in the purchase. And I'm thinking about how when Joseph then went out to bury their father, how Esau tried to lie and said he never signed no paperwork. He didn't know. And remember, he sent Naphtali back to get the records. That's why it's important that you guys read this book of Jasher. It really breaks things down.
But also it shows you that they conducted business. Right. They put stuff in writing.
Everything was in writing.
Okay.
Why?
And he had witnesses.
That's right. Because without it being in writing, without a witness, there's no testimony.
Come on.
You got it? And the testimony is normally given after a person passes away. All praises. That's why Yeshua said, I say if a woman does something, you give a certificate of what? Divorce. Why? Because there had to be a testimony, something written of that marriage. When they pass away, there's always something to say who that bloodline is. This is deep. Verse 26, it says in Jasher, chapter 48.
Well, 27.
Shalakia. The book of Jasher, chapter 47, verse 27. And these are the words which Yaakov wrote in the sea for saying, the land of Canaan and all the cities of Chittim and Shebram and Yevanim and Emmarim and Prezarim and the Girashim and all the 7 nations from the river of Mitzrim to the river of Peret and the city of Shebram, Korath, Arba, and the cave which is in it. And the whole did Yaakov buy from his brother Esau for value, for possession, for an inheritance for his seed after him forever. Now we're learning that the capital of Egypt is called what? Memphis. And that Memphis, Tennessee, is supposed to be in the capital of Egypt. Then we're learning also that the Grand Canyon is called a highway to Egypt. A lot of these lands are right here, folks. The lands were given to our people. And believe this, and you can believe this here, that the land that the Most High gave to Abraham was this promised land, the land of milk and honey. That's why all nations want to come here versus everywhere else on the earth. This is deep. Verse 29, it says, the book of Jasher, chapter 47, verse 29. And Jacob took the sea for purchase and a signature and commanded that the statues and revealed the sefer. And he placed them in an earthen vessel in an order that they should remain for a long time. And he delivered them into the hands of his children. And Esau took all that his father had left to him after his death from his brother Jacob. And he took all the property from man and beast, camel and an ass, ox, lamb, silver, gold, stones, bdellium, and the riches which had belonged to Yitzhak, the son of Abraham. But there was nothing left which Esau did not take for himself from Yitzhak had left after his death. And Esau took all this, and he and his children went home to the land of Seir, the Churi, away from his brother Jacob and his children. And Esau had possessions amongst the children of Seir, and Esau returned not to the land of Canaan, and from that day forward. And the whole land of Canaan became an inheritance to the children of Israel, for an everlasting inheritance, and Esau with all his children inherit mountain of Seir. So, saying that, remember, we inherited this land. The reason why a lot of times when you go into certain lands like Utah, or you go into Kentucky, or you go into St. Louis and other places, you might find some other nations' writings or inscribings. Why? Because they were there first before we took it. We inherited it and we took it by force. And you'll learn about this when you learn about the battles that Moses had with 25 nations he took out. And then Joshua, an Ephraimite, who was the son of Nun, who took out 31 nations and 31 kings, and most of them were giants. And the giants were found where? Most of them found here in the Americas. The book of Jasher, chapter 48, Sister Micaiah.
Jasher 48, verse 1. It says, in those days after the death of Yitzhak, Yahuwah commanded and caused a famine upon the whole earth. At that time, Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, was sitting upon his throne in the land of Mitzrayim and lay in his bed and dreamed dreams. And Pharaoh saw in his dream that he was standing by the side of the river of Mitzrayim. And while he was standing, he saw, and behold, 7 fat-fleshed and well-favored kine came up out of the river, and 7 other kine, lean, fleshed, and ill-favored, came up after them. And the 7 ill-favored ones swallowed up the well-favored ones, and still their appearance was ill as at first. And he awoke, and he slept again, and he dreamed a second time, and he saw, and behold, 7 ears of grain came up upon one stalk, rank and good, and 7 thin ears blasted with the east wind sprang up after them. And the thin ears swallowed up the full ones, and Pharaoh awoke out of his dream. And in the morning, the king remembered his dreams, and his ruach, or spirit, was sadly troubled on account of his dreams. And the king hastened and sent and called for all the magicians of Mitzrayim and the wise men, and they came and stood before Pharaoh.
So the Pharaoh was scared. He was like, man, what is this dream? So a lot of times when we read, remember Job 30:30, the Most High say it comes to a man in a dream and a vision, and he seals the instruction. So Job 30:30 is telling you when the Most High came to the Pharaoh, see, Listen, the Pharaoh wasn't one of our people, was he?
No.
But the Most High came to him in a dream and a vision too, didn't he? Yeah. It lets you know he comes to the other nations as well in dreams and visions. That's why he said he's going to pour out his spirit on not only us, but the handmaids and servants.
All flesh.
All flesh. So saying that, I want y'all to understand something. He came to him, and when he did, the Pharaoh said, wait a minute, this ain't just a dream. This is a vision. This is going to come true. I know it. Because why? How did he know it? He felt it in his soul. He knew that this was something real. But now he needs an interpretation. The Book of Jasher, chapter 48, verse
7.
Go ahead.
And the king said to them, I have dreamed dreams, and there is none to interpret them. And they said to the king, relate your dreams to your servants, and let us hear them. And the king related his dreams to them, and they all answered and said with one voice to the king, may the king live forever, and this is the interpretation of your dreams. The 7 good kind, which you did see, denote 7 daughters that will be born to you in the latter days. And the 7 kind which you saw come up after them and swallow them up are for a sign that the daughters who will be born to you will all die in the lifetime of the king. And that which you did see in the second dream of 7 full good ears of grain coming up upon one stalk, this is their interpretation. That you will build to yourself in the latter days 7 cities throughout the land of Mizraim. And that which you saw of the 7 blasted ears of grain springing up after them and swallowing them up, while you did behold them with your eyes, is for a sign that the cities which you will build will all be destroyed in the latter days, in the lifetime of the king. And when they spoke these words, the king did not incline his ear to their words.
He said, did not incline his ear to their what?
To their words.
He's saying to himself, that ain't what this means. I hear what y'all saying, but that's not what that means. I know in my soul that that's not what that meant. Go ahead.
Neither did he fix his heart upon them, for the king knew in his wisdom that they did not give a proper interpretation of the dreams.
So he said he knew it in his what? Wisdom. He was a very wise man.
From
above. And he knew because the Most High had always been talking to this Pharaoh. And this is why the Pharaoh, you understand, understood who our people was. He knew divine wisdom, and he knew when the truth was there. He knew. Go ahead.
I'm still in Jasher 48. I'm in the middle of verse 11. It says, and when they had finished speaking before the king answered them, saying, what is this thing that you have spoken to me? Surely you have uttered falsehood and spoken lies.
Come on.
Therefore, now give the proper interpretation of my dreams, that you may not die. And the king commanded after this, and he sent and called again for other wise men. And they came and stood before the king, and the king related his dreams to them. And they all answered him according to the first interpretation. And the king's anger was kindled, and he was very angry. And the king said to them, surely you speak lies and utter falsehood in what you have said. And the king commanded that a proclamation should be issued throughout the land of Mizraim, saying...
He was pissed off. He was pissed. He's like, all these men, they just saying anything just to try to please me. But I know that none of what they're saying is spiritual. None of it is coming from the one who created everything. They don't know what they're talking about. Matter of fact, let me get rid of them. Go ahead and read.
I'm still on verse 13. It says, it is resolved by the king and his great men that any wise man who knows and understands the interpretation of dreams and will not come this day before the king, he shall die. And the man that will declare to the king the proper interpretation of his dreams, there shall be given to him all that he will require from the king. And all the wise men of the land of Mizraim came before the king together with all the magicians and sorcerers that were in Mizraim and in Goshen, in Ra'amachek, the Takpanek, in Soar, and in all the places on the borders of Mizraim, and they all stood before the king. And all the nobles and the princes and the attendants belonging to the king came together from all the cities of Mizraim, and they all sat before the king. And the king related his dreams before the wise men. And the princes and all that sat before the king were astonished at the vision. And all the wise men who were before the king were greatly divided in their interpretation of his dreams. Some of them interpreted them to the king, saying, the 7 good kind are 7 kings, who from the king's issue will be raised over Mizraim. Doesn't this remind y'all of the whole situation with Daniel and the king of Babylon? 17. Jasher 48, verse 17. And the 7 bad kind are 7 princes who will stand up against them in the latter days and destroy them. And the 7 ears of grain are the 7 great princes belonging to Mizraim. What?
It reminds me of these fake pastors trying to interpret the Bible. That's what it reminds me of.
That too.
It reminds me of these fake pastors who try to interpret the Bible and not using precept by precept, line by line, and who don't have our books to expound in detail what it really means, to bring light. That's why so much darkness is on this place. This is why it's a cloudy day, as the Most High said. He's coming on a dark and what? Cloudy day. Everything's distorted.
Who will fall in the hands
Book of Jasher, chapter 48, verse.
I'm still on 17. I'm at the bottom.
Go ahead.
Who will fall in the hands of the 7 less powerful princes of their enemies in the wars of our Adonai the king? And some of them interpreted to the king in this manner, saying, the 7 good kind are the strong cities of Mizraim, and the 7 bad kind are the 7 nations of the land of Canaan, who will come against the 7 cities of Mizraim in the latter days and destroy them. And that which you saw in the second dream of 7 good and bad ears of grain is a sign that the government of Mizraim will again return to your seed as at first. And in his reign, the people of the cities of Mizraim will turn against the 7 cities of Canaan, who are stronger than they are, and will destroy them. And the government of Mizraim will return to your seed. And some of them said to the king, this is the interpretation of your dreams. The 7 good kind are 7 queens, whom you will take for women in the latter days. And the 7 bad kind denote that those women will all die in the lifetime of the king. And the 7 good and bad ears of grain, which you did see in the second dream, are 14 children. And it will be in the latter days that they will stand up and fight amongst themselves. And 7 of them will smite the 7 that are more powerful. So he's getting all these different interpretations.
And he's like, man, these folks have lost their mind, man. Why am I getting all these different interpretations? Go ahead.
Jasher 48, verse 23. And some of them said these words to the king, saying, the 7 good kind denote that 7 children will be born to you, and they will slay 7 of your children's children in the latter days. And the 7 good ears of grain, which you did see in the second dream, are those princes against whom 7 other less powerful princes will fight and destroy them in the latter days and avenge your children's cause. And the government will again return to your seed.
Do y'all see any familiarity here? Whenever we ask questions about this book, you got what you call religion, which is symbolic to what's going on right here. All of these interpretations of what the word is. Because these men, where are they getting this information from? Their what? From their hearts. What they feel it means. Nothing that came from the Most High. And this is why so many of our people, as Jeremiah 23 verse 1 say, the pastors scatter the sheep, because they all got different interpretations, but none of it is biblical. The Book of Jasher
48 verse 24. And the king heard all the words of the wise men of Mizraim and their interpretation of his dreams, and none of them pleased the king. And the king knew in his wisdom that they did not altogether speak correctly in all these words. For this was from Yahuwah to frustrate the words of the wise men of Mizraim.
Come on, in order what?
In order that Joseph might go forth from the house of confinement, and in order that he should become great in Mizraim.
So what is he doing with these men today? So that we can be returned to our glory. He's mixing up their words. He's confining them so that biblical prophecy can play out. So that we can come from the house of what? Confinement.
Yep.
Because this is a place of confinement.
Now, another thing to note here, the king had spiritual people that he would go to, the sorcerers and the magicians, but understand that even those spirits they consulted did not have permission to disclose
the truth.
They are all still subject to the Most High.
That's it.
Okay.
Just like now, when you go to these so-called soothsayers, fortune tellers, you know, people like Balaam, you know, the only power that they get to foretell anything has to come from the Most High. But Satan will give them lies and deceit so that you be deceived.
Come on.
And so many of you have been deceived. But now you're being relieved with this word. Let's bring it out. Book of Jasher.
48 verse 26.
Chapter 48 verse 26.
And the king saw that none amongst all the wise men and magicians of Mizraim spoke correctly to him. And the king's wrath was kindled and his anger burned within him.
How do you guys feel when you've been going to these men when y'all realize that they never gave you the truth? You get pissed off. You get angry when you realize the truth. That's what's going on, right? Listen, this book is just mirroring what's going on right now.
Yes.
It's just mirroring everything right now that's going on. But how does it feel when you hear the truth? Remember on Mount Sinai that this word was engrafted in us. So when we hear it, it's a confirmation of what we already know.
Yes.
We know we hear the truth because our soul rejoices. Let's bring it out. The book of Jasher, chapter 48, verse
27.
Let's bring it out.
And the king commanded that all the wise men and magicians should go out from before him. And they all went out from before the king with shame and disgrace. And the king commanded that a proclamation be sent throughout Mizraim to slay all the magicians that were in Mizraim, and not one of them should be suffered to live.
So he's going to clean the whole
house. That's judgment.
That's judgment. That's what's going on right now. It's judgment. You know, and that's why you see your Pharaoh, your king, and a lot of them going back and forth fighting each other. And also he's persecuting these people in high position. You had the top attorney right now who your Pharaoh is going against, because a lot of things they do is lie and deceit. But the Most High does this to bring judgment on all these people. Go ahead.
Jasher 48 verse 29. And the captains of the guards belonging to the king rose up, and each man drew his sword, and they began to smite the magicians of Mizraim and the wise men. And after this, Marad, chief butler to the king, came and bowed down before the king and sat before him. And the butler said to the king, "May the king live forever, and his government be exalted in the land. You were angry with your servant in those days. Now 2 years passed, and did place me in the ward. And I was for some time in the ward, I and the chief of the bakers." So when he's saying the ward, that's the prison.
Prison house, yes.
33. And there was with us an Ivri servant.
Whose servant?
Ivri.
That's truly what our name is, Ivri, not Hebrew. Go ahead.
Belonging to the captain of the guard. His name was Joseph. For his Adonai had been angry with him and placed him in the house of confinement, and he attended us there. And in some time after, when we were in the ward, we dreamed dreams in one night. I and the chief of the bakers, we dreamed, each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And we came in the morning and told them to that servant, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream did he correctly interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so was the event. There fell not to the ground any of his words.
So he's saying everything that he interpreted came to fruition. And I want y'all to understand something. When the Most High gives me dreams and visions, what happens, Sister Micaiah?
Not one of them.
When he gives me a real vision and shows me and tell me what's going to happen, not one word of it does not happen. It always does. And this is how I truly understand what is exactly written here. Go ahead.
Verse 37. And now, therefore, my Adonai and king, do not slay the people of Mizraim for naught. Behold, that slave is still confined in the house by the captain of the guard, his Adonai, in the house of confinement. If it pleases the king, let him send for him that he may come before you, and he will make known to you the correct interpretation of the dream which you did dream.
So when you start interpreting dreams, first of all, you got to be spiritual. Second of all, you need to know scriptures so you can put two and two together when they see certain things. But what happens is the Most High put his spirit on you, and it'll start giving you a vision in your head exactly what it means. That's what he does to me when people ask me to interpret dreams. He puts his spirit on me, and I can also feel it as they're talking and they're telling me to dream. All of a sudden, I can see exactly what the Most High was showing. He's showing it to me like a movie reel. So I totally get exactly what Joseph was doing when Joseph was giving it to him. All praise to the Most High.
Yes.
The Book of Jasher, chapter 48, verse
39.
Go ahead.
And the king heard the words of the chief butler, and the king ordered that the wise men of Mizraim should not be slain. And the king ordered his servants to bring Joseph before him. And the king said to them, go to him and do not terrify him, lest he be confused and will not know to speak properly.
King like, listen, I need to know what's going on. When you go talk to him, don't be scaring him, because I need to know this now. This is deep. Go ahead.
Verse 41. And the servants of the king went to Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And the king's servants shaved him, and he changed his prison garment, and he came before the king. Now, here's something else to note here. Notice how the Most High took Joseph in an instant from being in a dungeon to being in the presence of the king, where the king needs him. Okay,
right. Just like these kings,
he can change our situation overnight.
Then the Bible says that the kings and the princes are going to come to us.
Come on,
he's going to change us in an instant and change our ways and change how these nations need us. But why was Joseph even in jail for those 10 years?
Because of Potiphar's wife.
Because of his wife, but he could have been released earlier.
But what relied on men other than aside from the Most High.
All right, and we're going to get that. We're going to get this. Let's go ahead and read.
Jasher, chapter 48, verse 42. And the king was sitting upon his royal throne in a princely dress girt around with a golden ephod, and the fine gold which was upon it sparkled, and the carbuncle and the ruby and the emerald, together with all the precious stones that were upon the king's head, dazzled the eye. And Joseph wondered greatly at the king. And the throne upon which the king sat was covered with gold and silver and with onyx stones, and it had 70 steps.
How many steps?
70.
How many languages? How many?
That 70 is a prophetic number.
Language was scattered 70 different ways.
70 families went to Egypt from
Messiah came 70 generations after David. Everything is prophetic here, folks. Go ahead.
Verse 44. And it was their custom throughout the land of Mizraim that every man who came to speak to the king, if he was a prince or one that was estimable in the sight of the king, he ascended to the king's throne as far as the 31st step, and the king would descend to the 36th step and speak with him.
Come on.
If he was one of the common people, he ascended to the 3rd step, and the king would descend to the 4th and speak to him. And their custom was, moreover, that any man who understood to speak in all the 70 languages, he ascended the 70 steps and went up and spoke till he reached the king.
So basically, you couldn't go to the king. In order to get up to the king, all the way up to the top, you had to know all 70 languages.
Come on.
And so the king knew all 70 languages. He was taught in all languages and all wisdom, just like Moses was. You understand? So this is pretty deep. This is pretty deep. Go ahead.
Jasher 48, verse 46. And any man who could not complete the 70, he ascended as many steps as the languages which he knew to speak in. And it was customary in those days in Mizraim that no one should reign over them, but who understood to speak in the 70 languages.
This is deep, you know. And when we go to this, I want to tell you guys something. When you go to Job 30:30, and the Most High said he come to a man in a dream and a vision. One thing I understand about this account, and my wife and me know this firsthand, and I always give this when I go here and I read this, is the Most High came to me when I couldn't fix a truck. And I was trying to fix it for 4 months, 5 months, and I couldn't fix it. And I'd be out there all day. My wife said, what you doing? Trying to fix this truck. You still ain't fixed that truck. The Most High, I prayed and got on my knees. I asked the Most High to show me how to fix that vehicle. Do you know that the Most High sent the angel that night? And he put him on my right-hand side. And the angel took every part off and he told me to look, I'm going to show you how to do this so that you don't go through this anymore. And he took every part off that truck step by step. And he made me watch him. And he put every part back. And the next day, what did I wake up and say to you?
The Most High should send an angel to show me how to fix that truck.
And you know what she did? Like typically any other black woman do. Israelite woman do.
I said, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Brother, yeah, whatever, brother. You've been out there for days trying to, you can't fix it. How long did it take me to fix that truck?
About an hour
About
or two.
An hour or two. It was done. I did exactly as the angel showed me to do. And it was done. Folks, I'm a first-hand witness to all of what we're reading here right now. Yes. How the Most High works with his children. I'm a witness to it.
Yes, indeed.
The Book of Jasher, chapter 48, verse 48.
I think I'm on 49.
49.
Oh, 48. 48. And when Joseph came before the king, he bowed down to the ground before the king, and he ascended to the third step. And the king sat upon the fourth step and spoke with Joseph. And the king said to Joseph, I dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter to interpret it properly. And I commanded this day that all the magicians of Mizraim and the wise men thereof should come before me, and I related my dreams to them, and no one has properly interpreted them to me. And after this, I this day heard concerning you that you are a wise man and can correctly interpret every dream that you hear. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, let Pharaoh relate his dreams that he dreamed. Surely the interpretations belong to Elohim. And Pharaoh related his dreams to Joseph, the dream of the kine and the dream of the ears of grain. And the king left off speaking. Now, notice that Joseph gave credit to the Most High.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Immediately.
He knew that where he's the only one can give interpretations of things that are not seen.
Exactly.
He reveals the hidden things. All praises.
Jasher 48, verse 52. And Joseph was then clothed with the Ruach Elohim.
He was clothed with what?
With the Most High Spirit before the king.
He was clothed. That's why he says, don't rehearse anything you say when you go before men. He said, I'll put the words in your mouth.
That's right.
Because the Holy Spirit was on that. I'm a witness to how that works. Day in and day out.
Yes.
I'll be before people. I don't know anything about them. All of a sudden, the Most High start putting words in my mouth by everything they've been going through, everything they're dealing with. And all of a sudden, they start what, Sister Micaiah?
They start crying.
Or
they'll confirm what you're saying.
They say, how could you know these things? It has to come from the Most High. Folks, all of this is a testimony of back then and even how he works with his servants right now. The Book of Jasher, chapter 48, verse 52.
It says, and Joseph was then clothed with the Ruach Elohim before the king, and he knew all the things that would befall the king from that day forward. And he knew the proper interpretation of the king's dream, and he spoke before the king. And Joseph found favor in the sight of the king, and the king inclined his ears and his heart, and he heard all the words of Joseph. And Joseph said to the king, do not imagine that they are two dreams.
So this is something important. A lot of you guys and gals will get a dream from the Most High. But you know what he'll do? He'll come back and give you another one, confirm it. The first time he showed me and took me up and showed me locusts in the heavens, and I didn't know what they were, and he told me this is how my angels are coming, like locusts. He gave me that vision, showed me the locusts, backed me down, and saw the whole sky covered. So I saw it, but I didn't truly get it till he gave me the second dream. When he opened up the sky, I saw blue lights and this black dome everywhere. It was in a dome. And these blue lights shooting this way, shooting that way. Then all of a sudden, chariots start coming down. And I saw the same chariots that we're seeing right now. They call them UAPs or UFOs, or they're calling drones. No, I saw them. They are chariots that the angels move around in. He gave it to me twice for a reason. And Joseph is going to explain why. The Book of Jasher, chapter 48, verse.
I'm still on verse 53. I'm towards the bottom. It says, and Joseph said to the king, do not imagine that they are two dreams, for it is only one dream. For that which Elohim has chosen to do throughout the land, he has shown the king in his dream. And this is the proper interpretation of your dream.
Yes.
The 7 good kine and ears of grain are 7 years, and the 7 bad kine and ears of grain are also 7 years.
Yes.
It is one dream.
Yes.
Behold, the 7 years that are coming, there will be a great plenty throughout the land. And after that, the 7 years of famine will follow them, a very grievous famine, and all the plenty will be forgotten from the land.
Yes.
And the famine will consume the inhabitants of the land.
Yes.
The king dreamed one dream, and the dream was therefore repeated to Pharaoh, because the thing is established by Elohim.
Did you get that? He said he dreamed one dream, but it was repeated because why?
It was established.
It was established. Just like he showed me the 2 dreams of these chariots coming. The reason he showed it to me and he showed me in a different way. Why? Because it was established that I'm sending my angels from the 4 corners of the earth, and I'm going to gather my children. Go warn them to wake up, stop sinning, and know that we're here.
That was confirmation that this is going to happen. Okay.
This confirmation. That's why he gives us true visions and tools to confirm that it will happen. This is deep.
Yep. It says, and Elohim will shortly bring it to pass.
Come on. And this is what's going to happen. Shortly, when he gave me those two visions, we're going to be gathered. He's going to bring it to pass. The Book of Jasher, chapter 48, verse 57.
Now, therefore, I will give you counsel and deliver your soul and the souls of the inhabitants of the land from the evil of the famine.
So what is he doing right now? Giving us what? Counsel. Mm-hmm. And we're giving to the inhabitants of the land because there's a famine of disinformation, no knowledge, no wisdom, no understanding, no light, a cloudy day. Mm-hmm. Let's get these spiritual bifocals back on.
Yep.
Let's bring it out.
It says that you seek throughout your kingdom for a man very discreet and wise, who knows all the affairs of government, and appoint him to superintend over the land of Mizraim. And let the man whom you place over Mizraim appoint officers under him, that they gather in all the food of the good years that are coming, and let them lay up grain and deposit it in your appointed stores. And let them keep that food for the 7 years of famine, that it may be found for you and your people and your whole land, and that you and your land be not cut off by the famine. Let all the inhabitants of the land be also ordered that they gather in, every man, the produce of his field, of all sorts of food during the 7 good years, and that they place it in their stores, that it may be found for them in the days of the famine, and that they may live upon it.
So this is symbolic of what he's doing right now with us. See, we have knowledge and wisdom and stored up what? In storehouses in heaven. It's called wisdom, knowledge. So there's been a famine in this land for almost 6,000 years now. We know that when Yeshua comes back, that the earth will not be made new again to after what? 7 years or 7,000 years. This is all symbolic. And so saying that, the reason why it's not a total healing is because you got to remember at the end of the 7,000 years, Satan's going to be released still for what? A little while. And so these people who are with Gog and Magog, the remnant of them, are still going to be famished by a disinformation. So it's not going to be complete until 7,000 years is finished. That's when the earth will be made new again. You see, the 7 is symbolic of the time period on earth that man has to go through with a lot of disinformation, a lot of wisdom and knowledge that's held back. It's spiritual, folks. It's spiritual. Book of Jasher, chapter 48, verse
61.
Go ahead.
This is the proper interpretation of your dream, and this is the counsel given to save your soul and the souls of all your subjects.
So what should we be doing with this wisdom right now? This hidden manna? We need to be listening so your souls can be saved and all the people around you. Go ahead.
Verse 62. And the king answered and said to Joseph, who says and who knows that your words are correct? And he said to the king,
I'm going to know your words are correct. You could be doing it just like them. I need proof. Go ahead.
And he said to the king, this shall be a sign for you respecting all my words, that they are true and that my advice is good for you. Behold, your woman sits this day upon the stool of delivery, and she will bear you a son, and you will rejoice with him. When your child shall have gone forth from his mother's womb, your firstborn son that has been born these 2 years back shall die, and you will be comforted in the child that will be born to you this day. And Joseph finished speaking these words to the king, and he bowed down to the king, and he went out. And when Joseph had gone out from the king's presence, those signs which Joseph had spoken to the king came to pass on that day.
So when the Most High says something, it ain't going to be a long time period. He's going to show you right away that what his prophets say is true. It didn't come to pass 5-6 days later. When did it come to pass?
When Joseph said it would, so on that day.
Same day when he walked out.
Verse 65. And the queen bore a son on that day, and the king heard the good news about his son, and he rejoiced. And when the reporter had gone forth from the king's presence, the king's servants found the firstborn son of the king fallen dead upon the ground. And there was great lamentation and noise in the king's house. And the king heard it. And he said, what is the noise and lamentation that I've heard in the house? And they told the king that his firstborn son had died. Then the king knew that all Joseph's words that he had spoken were correct. And the king was consoled for his son by the child that was born to him on that day, as Joseph had spoken.
And I think about when I had the vision of those chariots, 1 year to that day, literally 1 year to that day, they all showed up, just like the Most High told me it would. Man, this is deep. The Book of Jasher, chapter 49. After these things, the king sent and assembled all the officers and servants, and all the princes and nobles belonging to the king. And they all came before the king. And the king said to them, behold, you have seen and heard all the words that the Ivri man and all the signs which he declared would come to pass. And not any of his words have fallen to the ground. You know that he has given a proper interpretation of the dream, and it will surely come to pass. Now, therefore, take counsel and know what you will do and how the land will be delivered from the famine. Verse 4, the Book of Jasher, chapter 49, verse 4. It says, seek now and see whether the light can be found, in whose heart there is wisdom and knowledge, and I will appoint him over the land. So basically, the Pharaoh's like, listen, I want y'all to go out. This man is not one of us, but I want y'all to go out, and I want you to seek and you find anybody like this man in the whole land, anyone. It says in verse 5, for you have heard what the Ivri man has advised concerning this, and to save the land wherewith from the famine. And I know that the land will not be delivered from the famine, but with the advice of the Ivri man, him that advised me. And they all answered the king and said, the counsel which the Ivri has given concerning this is good. Now therefore, our Adonai and king, behold, the whole land is in your hand. Do that which seems good in your sight. Him whom you choose and whom you in your wide wisdom know to be wise and capable of delivering the land with his wisdom, him shall the king appoint to be under him and over the land. And the king said to all the officers, I have thought that since Elohim has made known to the Ivri man all that he has spoken, there is none so discreet and wise in the whole land as he is. And it seems good in your sight. So the king, like, if it seems good in your sight, this is what I see. There's nobody wiser. You know, what is it in your sight? What do you think? It says,
what verse you on?
I'm on verse 8. And the king said to all the officers, I'm on chapter 49, the book of Jasher, chapter 49, verse 8. And the king said to all the officers, I have thought that since Elohim has made known to the Ivri man all that he has spoken, there is no discreet and wise in the whole land as he is. If it seems good in your sight, I will place him over the land, for he will save the land with his wisdom. And all the officers answered the king and said, but surely it is written in the laws of Mitzrayim, and it should not be violated, that no man shall reign over Mitzrayim, nor be second to the king, but one who has knowledge in all the languages of the Son of Men. And how many languages were there?
70.
70. Now, therefore, our Adonai and king, behold, this Ivri man can only speak the Ivri language. And how can he be over us, the second under government? A man who is not even, who not even knows the languages. Now we pray you, send for him, and let him come before you, and prove him in all things, and do as you see fit. And the king said, it shall be done tomorrow. And the thing that you have spoken is good. And the officers came on that day before the king. The book of Jasher, chapter 49, verse 13. And on that night, Yahuwah sent one of his ministering angels. What did he send to me, Sister Micaiah?
An angel.
He sent me a ministry. It was called a ministering angel.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and he came into the land of Mitzrayim to Joseph, and the angel of Yahuwah stood over Joseph. And behold, Joseph was laying in the bed at night, in his Adonai's house in the dungeon, for his Adonai had put him back into the dungeon on account of the woman. And the angel roused him from his sleep, and Joseph rose up and stood upon his legs. And behold, the angel of Yahuwah was standing opposite of him. And the angel of Yahuwah spoke to Joseph, and he taught him all the languages of man In what?
That night.
And that night, just like he showed me how to break down a motor that I couldn't break down for months. I couldn't even figure it out. But in one night, he taught me all of that. This is deep. It says in 14, and the angel roused him from his sleep, and Joseph rose up and stood upon the bed of the angel of Yahuwah, who was standing opposite him. And the angel of Yahuwah spoke with Joseph and taught him all the language of man in that night. And he called his name Joseph. And the angel of Yahuwah went from him, and Joseph returned and lay upon his bed. And Joseph was astonished at the vision which he saw. I remember that because I was astonished. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I know how this worked. And it came to pass in the morning that the king sent forth all his officers and servants. They all came and sat before the king. And the king ordered Joseph to be brought. And the king's servants went and brought Joseph before Pharaoh. And the king came forth and ascended to the steps of the throne. And Joseph spoke to the king in all languages. And Joseph went up to him and spoke to the king to arrive before the king in the 70th step. And he sat before the king. And the king greatly rejoiced on account of Joseph. And all the king's officers rejoiced greatly with the king when they had heard the words of Joseph. The book of Jasher, chapter 49, verse 19. And the thing seemed good in the sight of the king and the officers to appoint Joseph to be second to the king over the whole land of Mitzrayim. And the king spoke to Joseph, saying, Now you did give me counsel to appoint a wise man over the land of Mitzrayim, in order with his wisdom to save the land from the famine. Now, therefore, since Elohim has made all known to you, and all the words which you have spoken, there is not throughout the land a discreet and wise man like you. And your name, get this, he said, and your name no more shall be called Joseph, but Zephnath-Paneh shall be your name. And you shall be second to me, on according to your word shall be all the affairs of my government. And at your word shall my people go out and come in. Also from under your hand shall my servant and officers and receive their salary, which is given to them monthly. And you shall all the people of the land bow down. Only in my throne will I be greater than you. And the king took off his ring from his hand, and he put it on the hand of Joseph. And the king dressed Joseph in princely garments, and put a golden crown upon his head, and he put a golden chain upon his neck. And I want y'all to understand something. I know a lot of you guys have heard that when we wear gold chains and all of that, that comes and shows it's symbolic of us being in bondage, being in slavery. All through our history, when you look at our kings and our priests, they'll wear crowns and they will wear gold chains. Mm-hmm. So this was actually something that was done in ancient times. It's just in our spirit to keep doing it. You know, I don't wear them because I don't want nobody trying to rob me, but that's part of our DNA. All praises. Verse 24, the book of Jasher, chapter 49, verse 24. It says, and the king commanded his servants, and they made him ride in the second chariot belonging to the king that went opposite to the king's chariot. And he caused him to ride upon a great and strong horse from the king's horses, and to be conducted through the streets of the land of Mitzrayim. And the king commanded that all those that played upon timbrels, harps, and other musical instruments should go forth with Joseph. 1,000 timbrels, 1,000 makalofs. How you say that name? Metrolofs. Metrolofs, and 1,000 nebulim went after him, and 5,000 men with drawn swords glittering in their hands, and they went marching and playing before Joseph. And 20,000 of the great men of the kings, girt with belts of skins covered with gold, marched in the right hand of Joseph, and 20,000 at his left. And all the women and damsels went upon the roofs or stood in the streets, playing and rejoicing at Joseph, and gazed at the appearance of Joseph and at his beauty. And the king's people went before him and behind him, perfuming the road with frankincense and with cassia, and with all sorts of fine perfume, and scattered myrrh and aloes, scattered myrrh and aloes along the road. 20 men proclaimed these words before him throughout the land in a loud voice. Do you see this man whom the king has chosen to be second? All the affairs of government shall be regulated by him. And he, get this, it says, and he that transgresses his orders or does not bow down before him to the ground shall die. For he rebels against the king, his second. And when the heralds had ceased proclaiming, all the people of Mitzrayim bowed down to the ground before Joseph and said, may the king live. Also may his second live. And all the inhabitants of the Mitzrayim bowed down along the road. And when he had heard, and when the heralds approached them, they bowed down and they rejoiced with all the sorts of timbrels, mekos and nabal before Joseph. Man, this is deep, you know. It's crazy because my first name is actually in American language is Harold. And that's one who yells and who tells people what's coming. I thought that was pretty deep. And so when I read this, the book of Jasher, chapter 49, verse 30. And Joseph upon his horse lifted up his eyes to heaven and called out and said, he raises up the poor man from what? The dust. He lifts up the needy from what? The dunghill. O Yehoshaphat, happy is the man who trusts in who?
In you.
That's what we got to remember. He can take you from a lowly state. I don't care where you are in your life right now. You're going through a trial period, just like Joseph went through. Joseph would have been released probably about 8 years. But because Joseph put his faith in the men who he gave a vision to, and he interpreted their dreams, and he asked them, can you go to the Pharaoh to release me instead of going to the Most High? His troubles ended up happening for another 2 years. He stayed in prison. That's why we should always go to the Most High when we go through things. Never put our faith in men. Know that our deliverance comes from above, not from below.
Who else did he elevate like this? Wasn't it Moses?
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Moses was in the dungeon for 10 years as well. So it's deep, you know? Just like he told us. He said, some of you will be thrown in prison for what? 10 days. 10 days. Symbolic of Moses, symbolic of Joseph. Your heaven will be stone and your earth will be brass. Look at our people. Who are the number one peoples locked up?
Our people.
But we got to keep that faith. He says, keep your faith to the end and you will see your deliverance.
Happy is the man who trusts in Yahuwah.
Come on. I'm in the book of Jasher, chapter 49.
Verse 31.
Verse 31. And Joseph passed throughout the land of Mitzrayim with Pharaoh, servants and officers. And they showed him the whole land of Mitzrayim and all the king's treasuries. And Joseph returned and came on that day before Pharaoh. And the king gave Joseph possessions in the land of Mitzrayim, a possession of fields and vineyards. And the king gave Joseph 3,000 talents of silver, 1,000 talents of gold, and onyx stones, and bdellium, and many gifts. And on the next day, the king commanded all the people of Mitzrayim to bring Joseph offerings and gifts, and that he that violated the command of the king should die. They made a high place in the street of the city, and they spread out garments there. And whosoever brought anything to Joseph, that they might put it into the high place. So this was a tradition back in those days. When you learn about, Moses, when Moses ended up being the king over Ethiopia, one thing they did was they all put a blanket out or clothing in the middle of the street, and each man gave a piece of gold or silver, and they put it in the middle. So this was something that was done back in those days when someone came into kingship. Everyone had to give them something. Verse 34, the book of Jasher, chapter 49, verse 34. And all the people of Mitzrayim cast something into the high place. One man a golden earring, and another rings and earrings, and in different vessels of gold and silver work, onyx stones and bdellium did he cast upon the high place. Everyone gave something of what he possessed. And Joseph took all these and placed them in his treasuries, and in all the officers and nobles belonging to the king exalted Joseph, and they gave him many gifts, seeing that the king had chosen him to be his second. Verse 36. And the king sent to Potiphera, the son of Acharam, priest of On, and he took his young daughter Asenath and gave her to Joseph for a woman. And the damsel was very comely, a virgin, one whom man had not known. And Joseph took her for a woman. And the king said to Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and besides you, no one shall dare to lift up his hand or his foot to regulate my people throughout the land of Mitzrayim. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh. And Joseph went out from before the king, and he became the king's second in Mitzrayim. And the king gave Joseph 100 servants to attend him in his house. And Joseph also sent and purchased many servants, and they remained in his house, of the house of Joseph. And Joseph then built for himself a very magnificent house, like the house of kings, before the court of the king's palace. And he made in the house a very large temple, very elegant in appearance, and a covenant for his residence.
Convenient.
A very elegant in appearance and convenient for his residence. 3 years was Joseph in erecting his house. And Joseph made to himself a very elegant throne of abundance of gold and silver. And he covered it with onyx stones and bdellium. And he had made upon it the likeness of the whole land of Mitzrayim. Ain't that something? So he basically set it up looking just like Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot of wisdom. And the likeness of the river of Mitzrayim and the waters, and the whole land of Mitzrayim. And Joseph sat securely upon his throne in the house of Yahuwah. And increased Joseph, it says on his throne in his house. And Yahuwah increased Joseph's wisdom. And all the inhabitants of Mitzrayim and Pharaoh's servants and his princes loved Joseph exceedingly. For this thing was from Yahuwah to Joseph. And Joseph had in his army that made war going out in hosts of troops to the number of 40,600 men, capable of bearing arms to assist the king and Joseph against the enemy, besides the king's officers and his servants and inhabitants of Mitzrayim without number. And Joseph gave to his mighty men and to all his hosts shields and javelins and caps and coats of mail and stones for slinging. See, Joseph had wisdom also of war, because he came from a people of war. His brothers was warriors. So a lot of the tools and instruments that we use as Israel, the Ivrit, he used those same instruments he taught the Egyptians how to use.
Now, also notice the parallel, because the scriptures say when we come out of captivity,
yes,
we're going to come out with more than what our ancestors had going in. And you see, in Joseph's situation, this is what happened. He got more coming out of captivity than he had going in.
And this is what he's going to do to us. He says he's going to give us the rains, but more. He says we're going to have double rain, more than the former rain. He's giving us double portion. This is why Elijah, servant, when he told him, I'm going to bless you, he says, but I ask you, can you give me double portion of your spirit? This is all symbolic of what's happening with our people today. The Book of Jasher, chapter 50.
At that time, the children of Tarshish came against the sons of Ishmael and made war with them. And the children of Tarshish spoiled the Ishmaelim for a long time. And the children of Ishmael were small in number in those days, and they could not prevail over the children of Tarshish, and they were sorely oppressed. And the old men of the Ishmaelim sent a record to the king of Mitzrayim, saying, send, I pray you, to your servants, officers, and hosts to help us to fight against the children of Tarshish, for we have been consuming away for a long time. And Pharaoh sent Joseph with the mighty men and hosts which were with him, and also his mighty men from the king's house. And they went to the land of Cavilia,
yes,
to the children of Ishmael, to assist them against the children of Tarshish. And the children of Ishmael fought with the children of Tarshish. And Joseph smote the Tarshishim, and he subdued all their land, and the children of Ishmael dwell therein to this day.
So these were Joseph's cousins anyway. He had no problem going up to battle. They try to take out my family members. So he's like, okay, I got this.
Verse 6, Jasher 50, verse 6. And when the land of Tarshish was subdued, all the Tarshishim ran away and came on the border of their brethren, the children of Yavan and Joseph, with all his mighty men and hosts returned to Mitzrayim. not one man of them missing.
Not one of them what?
Missing.
Man, when we
they
walk
all
in righteousness,
came home.
everybody comes home.
Come on.
When we walk righteousness, everyone will go home.
Yes.
This is the lesson to learn. Not one of the men were missing.
Jasher chapter 50 verse 7. And at the revolution of the year, in the second year of Joseph's reigning over Mitzrayim, Yahuwah gave great plenty throughout the land for 7 years, as Joseph had spoken. For Yahuwah blessed all the produce of the earth in those days for 7 years, and they ate and were greatly satisfied. And Joseph at that time had officers under him, and they collected all the food of the good years and heaped grain year by year, and they placed it in the treasuries of Joseph. And at any time when they gathered the food, Joseph commanded that they should bring the grain in the ears and also bring with it some of the soil of the field, that it should not spoil.
So what did he tell them to bring? It wasn't
bring
just
soil with the grain.
But he said, I need you to keep it on the ears of the corn. Mm-hmm. Don't shuck it from it. But I need you to do something else. Bring the soil from the land in with it too. See, Joseph had wisdom from above. Mm-hmm. This is what he told the men who were gathering the corn for him to put in his silos. But guess what? The people of Egypt, they didn't do this thing. Go ahead.
Jasher 50 verse 10. And Joseph did according to this year by year, and he heaped up grain like the sand of the sea for abundance, for his stores were immense and could not be numbered for abundance. And also all the inhabitants of Mitzrayim gathered all sorts of food in their stores in great abundance during the 7 good years. But they did not do to it as Joseph did.
There it goes.
And all the food which Joseph and the Mitzrayim had gathered during the 7 years of plenty was secured for the land in stores for the 7 years of famine, for the support of the whole land. And the inhabitants of Mitzrayim filled each man his store and his concealed place with grain to be for support during the famine. And Joseph placed all the food that he had gathered in all the cities of Mitzrayim, and he closed all the stores and placed sentinels over them. And Joseph's woman Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, bore him 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And Joseph was 34 years old when he begat them.
So these were twins.
And the lads grew up, and they went in his ways and in his instructions. They did not deviate from the way which their father taught them, either to the right or left. Do y'all hear that, young people?
Young folks, y'all hear that? These Ephraim and Manasseh were blessed. Why? Because they never deviated from their father's word. Why did Judah get the kingship? Because he never, ever despise or not do what Jacob told him. He always did what his dad. Brethren. He loved his brethren, but he always did what his father told him. Since he did that, the Most High said he will make him a king. And he also had the strength of 3 of his brothers.
But this is how a nation is preserved also.
Yeah, I think the only one was stronger than Judah would be Joseph. Because even in Joseph's dream, they said that Joseph was running. And Joseph ended up grabbing Judah and throwing him. And Judah asked, why did you throw me? When he had a vision. So Joseph had immense strength. Then you'll learn that even when you keep reading this book, that Joseph's son Manasseh, when Simeon, who had immense power, when he started to revolt against Joseph, not knowing that was his brother, and started yelling and hollering, you'll learn that Manasseh came and subdued him and smote him on the back. And even Joseph said, I've never seen this much power. And Simeon said, I've not even seen, he's got to be of Jacob's child. Well, ain't no other man can fold me up and do this. But his nephew was able to do it. When the Most High ordains something, folks, nobody can change it. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And Yahuwah was with the lads, and they grew up and had understanding and skill in all wisdom and in all the affairs of government.
Some wisdom?
All
wisdom.
And all the kings. Let's see. It says, and all the king's officers and his great men of the inhabitants of Mitzrayim exalted the lads, and they were brought up amongst the king's children.
Yes.
And the 7 years of plenty that were throughout the land were at an end. And the 7 years of famine came after them, as Joseph had spoken, and the famine was throughout the land. And all the people of Mitzrayim saw that the famine had commenced in the land of Mitzrayim, And all the people of Mitzrayim opened their stores of grain, for the famine prevailed over them. And they found all the food that was in their stores full of vermin and not fit to eat. And the famine prevailed throughout the land, and all the inhabitants of Mitzrayim came and cried before Pharaoh, for the famine was heavy upon them.
Right now, there's a famine in the land. Zechariah 8:23 says 10 men will hold a skirt of a Jew, say, we're going to go with you. Right now, there's a heavy famine in the land. But the Most High has given his children storehouses of wisdom and knowledge so that we can give to the other people of the lands. This is deep, folks. These are all parallels here. Go ahead.
Verse 21.
We're in the book of Jasher, chapter 50, verse 21.
And they said to Pharaoh, give food to your servants, and wherefore shall we die through hunger before your eyes, even we and our little ones? And Pharaoh answered them, saying, and wherefore do you cry to me?
What you crying to me for?
Did not Joseph command that the grain should be laid up during the 7 years of plenty for the years of famine?
Did y'all do what he tell you?
And wherefore did you not hearken to his voice?
Come on.
And the people of Mitzrayim answered the king, saying, as your soul lives, our Adonai, your servants have done all that Joseph ordered. For your servants also gathered in all the produce of their fields during the 7 years of plenty, and laid it in the stores to this day.
But they still didn't do what Joseph told them. Didn't he tell them to keep it on the ear? Mm-hmm. Did he not say bring the soil in with it too? Mm-hmm. They didn't do that part. So the vermins were able to come in. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And when the famine prevailed over your servants, we opened our stores, and behold, all our produce was filled with vermin and was not fit for food.
So this goes to show you, when you don't follow divine instruction, when you deviate a little bit, you will have a famine. This is deep. Go ahead.
Yep. Jasher 50, verse 25. And when the king heard all that had befallen the inhabitants of Mitzrayim, the king was greatly afraid on account of the famine, and he was much terrified. And the king answered the people of Mitzrayim, saying, since all this has happened to you, go to Joseph, do whatsoever he shall say to you, transgress not his commands.
Yes.
And all the people of Mitzrayim went forth and came to Joseph and said to him, give to us food, and wherefore shall we die before you through hunger? For we gathered in our produce during the 7 years as you did command, and we put it in store, and thus has it befallen us. And when Joseph heard all the words of the people of Mitzrayim and what had befallen them, Joseph opened all his stores of the produce, and he sold it to the people of Mitzrayim.
Yes.
And the famine prevailed throughout the land, and the famine was in all countries. But in the land of Mitzrayim there was produce for sale. Yes. And all the inhabitants of Mitzrayim came to Joseph to buy grain, for the famine prevailed over them, and all their grain was spoiled. And Joseph daily sold it to all the people of Mitzrayim.
Yes.
And all the inhabitants of the land of Canaan, and the Pelishtim, and those beyond the Jordan, and the children of the east, and all the cities of the lands far and nigh, heard that there was grain in Mitzrayim. And they all came to Mitzrayim to buy grain, for the famine prevailed over them. And Joseph opened the stores of grain and placed officers over them. And they daily stood and sold to all that came. And Joseph knew that his brethren also would come to Mitzrayim to buy grain, for the famine prevailed throughout the earth. And Joseph commanded all his people that they should cause it to be proclaimed throughout the land of Mitzrayim, saying, it is the pleasure of the king, of his second, and of their great men, that any person who wishes to buy grain in Mitzrayim shall not send his servants to Mitzrayim to purchase, but his sons, and also any Mitzri or Canaanite who shall come from any of the stores from buying grain in Mitzrayim, and shall go and sell it throughout the land, he shall die. For no one shall buy but for the support of his household.
See, Joseph was smart. Mm-hmm. He wanted to make sure that he seen his brothers. So what he said is, you know, unless you write down what your lineage is, you can't get anything. And he went even deeper, you know, when he told him how much you can get at one time as well. But Joseph was very intelligent because Jacob taught him all things. So he was basically setting a trap for his brothers, so we can see exactly when they came in and when they went out. Mm-hmm. The Book of Jasher, chapter 50, verse
34.
Go ahead.
And any man leading 2 or 3 beasts shall die, for a man shall only lead his own beast.
You can only get food for yourself. You can't be getting for everybody else.
And Joseph placed sentinels at the gates of Mitzrayim and commanded them, saying, any person who may come to buy grain, suffer him not to enter until his name and the name of his father and the name of his father's father be written down. And whatsoever is written by day, send their names to me in the evening, that I may know their names. And Joseph placed officers throughout the land of Mitzrayim, and he commanded them to do all these things. And Joseph did all these things and made these statutes in order that he might know when his brethren should come to Mitzrayim to buy grain. Yeah. And Joseph's people caused it daily to be proclaimed in Mitzrayim according to these words and statutes which Joseph had commanded. And all the inhabitants of the east and west country and of all the earth heard of the statutes and regulations which Joseph had enacted in Mitzrayim, and the inhabitants of the extreme parts of the earth came, and they bought grain in Mitzrayim day after day, and then went away. This also tells you, this is also indication that the maps are not correct.
Absolutely
the way
not.
These continents are placed on the map.
And they've taken names from here and put them over there. They've just taken a lot of names and changed them around. That's why, some say they're going to change times, dates, and maps and places.
But this was after the flood, people. So understand, if he's feeding the whole earth.
That means they had to be able to connect to each other.
Come on.
They had to be able to walk and talk to each other.
Verse 39, and all the officers of Mitzrayim did as Joseph had commanded, and all that came to Mitzrayim to buy grain, the gatekeepers would write their names and their fathers' names, and daily bring them in the evening before Joseph.
The Book of Jasher, chapter 51. I think we're going to stop at 51, and then we'll go ahead and go into our notes after that.
Oh, okay.
And then I want everyone else to keep reading these precepts to get a deeper understanding of what's going on. The Book of Jasher, chapter 51. And Yaakov afterwards heard there was grain in Mitzrayim, and called to his sons to go to Mitzrayim to buy grain, for upon them also did the famine prevail. And he called his sons, saying, behold, I hear there is grain in Mitzrayim, and all the people of the earth go there to purchase. Now therefore, why will you show yourselves satisfied before the whole earth? Go you also down to Mitzrayim, and buy us a little grain amongst those who come there, that we may not die. And the sons of Yaakov hearkened to the voice of their father. And they rose up to go down to Mitzrayim in order to buy grain among the rest that came there. And Yaakov, their father, commanded them, saying, when you come into the city, do not enter into one gate, on the account of the inhabitants of the land. And the sons of Yaakov went forth, and they went to Mitzrayim. And the sons of Yaakov did all as their father had commanded them. And Yaakov did not send Benjamin, for he said, lest an accident might befall him on the road like his brother. And the 10 of Yaakov's sons went forth. And while the sons of Yaakov were going on the road, they repented of what they had done to Joseph. And they spoke to each other, saying, we know that our brother Joseph went down to Mitzrayim, and now we will seek him where we go. And if we find him, we will take him from his Adonai for ransom, and if not, by force, and we will die for him. And the sons of Yaakov agreed to this thing, and strengthened themselves on the account of Joseph, to deliver him from the hand of his Adonai. And the sons of Yaakov went to Mitzrayim, and when they came near to Mitzrayim, they separated from each other, and they came through 10 gates of Mitzrayim, and the gatekeepers wrote their names on that day, and brought them to Joseph in the evening. And Joseph read the names from the hand of the gatekeepers of the city. And he found that his brethren had entered at the 10 gates of the city. And Joseph at that time commanded that it should be proclaimed throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, saying, go forth, all you store guards, close all the gate stores, the grain stores, and lend only to one remain, and let only one remain open. So he says, close all of them, leave one open, that those who come may purchase it from it. And all the officers of Joseph did so at that time. and they closed all the stores and left only one open. And yes, Joseph gave the written names of his brethren to him that was set over the open store. And he said to him, whosoever should come to you to buy grain, ask him his name. And when men of these names shall come before you, seize them and send them. And they did so. When the sons of Jacob came into the city, they joined together in the city to seek Joseph before they brought themselves grain. They went to the walls of the harlots, and they sought Joseph in the walls of the harlots for 3 days. For they thought that Joseph would come into the walls of the harlots, for Joseph was very comely and well favored. And the sons of Jacob sought Joseph for 3 days, and they could not find him. And the men who was set over the open stores sought for those names which Joseph had given him, and he did not find them. And he sent to Joseph, saying, these 3 days have passed, and those men whom named you did give to me have not come in. And Joseph sent servants to seek the men in all Mitzrayim and to bring them before Joseph. The book of Jasher, chapter 51, verse 16. And Joseph's servants went and came into Mitzrayim, and they could not find them, and went to Goshen, and they were not there. And they went into the city of Ramah, and they could not find them. And Joseph continued to send 16 servants to seek his brothers. And they went and spread themselves in the 4 corners of the city. And the 4 of the servants went into the houses of the harlots. They found the 10 men there seeking their brother.
You know, something I really want to point out here too. Look how the Most High had them all of the same mind and objective to find each other.
Absolutely. All praises. Verse 18, the book of Jasher, chapter 51, verse 18. And those 4 men took them and brought them before him, and they bowed down to him to the ground. And Joseph was sitting on his throne in his temple, clothed with princely garments, and upon his head was a large crown of gold. And all the mighty men were sitting around him. You see, I laugh at this because remember when Joseph had the dream, when you read Jasher?
Right, when it was bound down
he had a dream that the stars, there was 12 stars, and the sun and the moon bound down to him. And they went to their dad with it, and they were mad about it, thinking, what, we going to bow down to you? And then Jacob knew that they was going to hurt him, and they was upset with him. So Jacob, just in his wisdom, said, what do you think, your mom and me going to bow down and your brothers? But this is what they did. As soon as they came, what did they do? They bowed down to him. The book of Jasher, chapter 51, verse 19. And the sons of Jacob saw Joseph, and his figure and his comeliness and his dignity of countenance seemed wonderful in their eyes. And they again bowed down to him to the ground. And when Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but they knew him not, for Joseph was very great in their eyes. Therefore, they knew him not.
Now, here's another point, y'all.
It's another message.
Because if he was really not melanated, he would have stood out like a sore thumb.
Absolutely.
Because we all know what the ancient Egyptians looked like back then.
Yes. And another reason that they could not recognize someone who was close to them or recognize a spiritual person, because they were respected persons. They were looking for someone who was broken down, torn up as a slave, not understanding that this man was a king.
Yes.
So when you look upon a person, never look at the outward appearance. Always get to know them and look at the inside. It's not about the washing of hands and the outside of the cup. It's about what's on the inside of the cup. All praise to the Most High. The book of Jasher, chapter 51, verse 21. And Joseph spoke to them, saying, from whence ye come ye? And they all answered and said, your servants have come from the land of Canaan to buy grain for the famine and famine and prevails throughout the earth.
The famine prevails.
Shalakia. For the famine prevails throughout the earth. And your servants heard that there was grain in Mitzrayim. So they have come amongst the other corner. Shalakia. So they have come amongst the other comers to buy grain for their support. And Joseph answered them, saying, if you have come to purchase as you say. Why do you come through the 10 gates of the city? It can only be that you have come to spy throughout the land. And they all together answered Joseph and said, Not so, my Adonai. We are right. Your servants are not spies, but we have come to buy grain, for your servants are all brothers, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And our father commanded us, saying, When you come into the city, do not enter together into one gate on the account of the inhabitants of the land. And Joseph again answered them and said, That is the thing which I spoke to you. You have come to spy out through the land. Therefore, you all come through 10 gates of the city. You have come to see the nakedness of the land. Surely everyone that comes to buy grain goes his way, and you are already 3 days in the land. And what do you do in the walls of harlots, in which you have been for 3 days? Surely spies do like these things. Verse 26, and they said to Joseph, Far be it from our Adonai to speak thus, for we are 12 brothers, the sons of our father Jacob, in the land of Canaan, the sons of Yitzhak, and the sons of Abraham, the Ivri. And behold, the youngest is with our father this day in the land of Canaan. And one is not, for he was lost from us. And we thought perhaps that he might be in this land. So we are seeking him throughout the land, and have come even to the house of harlots to seek him there. And Joseph said to them, And have you then sought him throughout the earth, that there only remained in Mitzrayim for you to seek him in? And what also should your brother do in the houses of harlots, although he was in Mitzrayim? Have you not said that you are from the sons of Yitzhak, the sons of Abraham? And what shall the sons of Jacob do then in the houses of harlots? So even the Egyptians knew of the spirituality that Jacob and Jacob and all of them had in Abraham. They knew all about their history. And they said to him, Because we heard that the Ishmaelim stole him from us, and it was told to us that they sold him in Mitzrayim, and your servant and our brother is very comely and well favored. So we thought that he would surely be in the house of harlots. Therefore your servants went there to seek him and to give ransom for him. And Joseph still answered them, saying, Surely you speak falsely and utter lies, to say yourselves that you are the sons of Abraham. As Pharaoh lives, you are spies. Therefore you have come to the house of harlots, that you should not be known. Joseph was messing with their heads, man. Joseph knew who they was, but boy, he was messing with his brothers, boy. He was messing with them. And Joseph said to them, And now, if you find him, and his Adonai requires of you a great price, will you give it for him? They said, It shall be given. And he said to them, And then if the Adonai will not consent to part with him for a great price, what will you do to him on this account? And they answered to him, saying, If he will not give him to us, we will slay him and take our brother and go away. And Joseph said to them, That is the thing which I have spoken to you. You are spies, for you are come to slay the inhabitants of the land. For we heard that 2 of your brethren smote all the inhabitants of Shechem in the land of Canaan on the account of your sister. And you now come to do the like to Mitzrayim on account of your brother? They knew the history. You see that? Only hereby shall I know that you are true men. If you will send home for the one amongst you to fetch your youngest brother from your father, and to bring him here to me, and by doing this thing, I will know that you are right. And Joseph called to the 70 of his mighty men, and he said to them, Take these men and bring them into the ward. And the mighty men took the 10 men, and they laid hold of them and put them into the ward. And they were in the ward 3 days. And on that 3rd day, Joseph had them brought out of the ward. And he said to them, Do this for yourselves, if you be true men, so that you may live. On one of your brethren shall be confined in the ward, while you go and take home the grain for your household to the land of Canaan, and fetch your youngest brother and bring him here to me, that I may know that you are true men when you do this thing. So who was his youngest brother, Sister Micaiah?
That's Benjamin.
And Benjamin and him had the same what?
The same mother.
So they grew up in the same what? same tent. They grew up in the same tent. And Joseph went out from them and came into the chamber, and he wept with a great weeping. So even when he saw this, what did he do? He went out, he started crying. You know, he knew his brothers didn't know who he was, but his heart was just, he was just so happy to see his brothers. You know, he just started crying like we would do. And he wept with a great weeping, for his pity was excited for them. And he washed his face and returned to them again. And he took Simeon from them and ordered him to be bound. But Simeon was not willing to be bound, to be done so. For he was very powerful man. He was a very powerful man, that they could not bind him. And Joseph called to his mighty men, and 70 valiant men came before him with drawn swords in their hands. And the sons of Jacob were terrified at them. And Joseph said to them, seize this man and confine him in prison until his brethren come to him. And Joseph's valiant men hastened, and they all laid hold of Simeon to bind him. And Simeon gave a loud, terrible shriek, and the cry was heard at a distance. And all the valiant men of Joseph were terrified at the sound of the shriek, and they fell upon their faces, and they were greatly afraid, and they fled. And all the men that were with Joseph fled, for they were greatly afraid of their lives. And only Joseph and Manasseh, his son, remained there. And Manasseh, the son of Joseph, saw the strength of Simeon, and he was exceedingly angry. And Manasseh, the son of Joseph, rose up to Simeon, and Manasseh smote Simeon a heavy blow with his fist against his back of his neck. And Simeon was still of his rage. And Manasseh laid hold of Simeon, and he seized him violently, and he bound him and brought him into the house of confinement. And all the sons of Jacob were astonished at this act of the youth. And Simeon said to his brethren, none of you, because Simeon got embarrassed. He was embarrassed. Simeon said, listen to me. He says to his brother, none of you say that this thing was smiting of a Mitzri or an Egyptian, but this is the smiting of the house of my father. So what does Simeon know?
That had to be.
He had to be a bloodline of Jacob. Ain't nobody can subdue us. Only one can subdue us is one of us. The Book of Jasher, chapter 51, verse 45. And after Joseph ordered him to be called, who was set over the storehouse to fill their sacks with grain, as much as they could carry, to restore every man his money to his sack, and to give them provisions for the road. And thus he did to them. And Joseph commanded them, saying, take heed, lest you transgress my orders to bring your brother, as I have told you. And it should be when you bring your brother hither to me, then will I know that you are true men. And you shall traffic in the land. And I will restore to you your brother, and you shall return in peace to your father. And they all answered and said, according to as Adonai spoke, so will we do. And they bowed down to him to the ground. So they bowed again. And every man lifted his grain upon his ass, and they went to go into the land of Canaan to their father. They came to the end, and Levi spread his sack, and to give provender to his ass. And when he saw, and behold, it was full weight, and still in his sack. And the man was greatly afraid, and he said to his brethren, my money, it is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And the men were greatly afraid, and they said, what is it that Elohim has done to us? They was like, man, why am Most High doing this? And they thinking, because what we did to Joseph. That's what they thinking in their mind. And they all said that we are, it says, and they all said, and where is Yahuwah's kindness with our fathers, with Abraham, Yitzhak, and Jacob, that Yahuwah has this day delivered us into the hands of the king of Mitzrayim to contrive against us. And Yehuda said to them, or Judah, surely we are guilty sinners before Yahuwah Elohim, and having sold our brother, our own flesh, wherefore do you say, where is Yahuwah's kindness with our fathers? Judah, what did Judah say? He did this because of what we did. Now all y'all saying, where's his kindness? How you saying that we sold our brother?
Yeah.
Judah said that. And Reuben, who was the oldest, said to them, said I not to you, do not sin against the lad? and you would not listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now Elohim requires him from us. How dare you? Where is your Yahuwah's kindness with our fathers while you have sinned to Yahuwah? Verse 53. And they tarried overnight in the place, and they rose up early in the morning and loaded their asses with their grain. They led them and went on and came to their father's house in the land of Canaan. And when Yaakov and his household went out to meet his sons, and Yaakov saw, and behold, the brother Simeon was not with them. Yaakov said to the son, where's your brother Simeon, whom I did not see? And his sons told him all that had befallen them in Mitzrayim. So I want y'all to keep reading. This
now,
account.
wasn't it Simeon's idea to do that to Joseph?
Yeah, in the beginning, yeah. Simeon was the one who thought about it because he hated, he was jealous of Joseph. And so this is why Joseph, remember, he was the one who initiated it. That's why Joseph kept him. All praises. So what I want to do is let's break down. Remember Joseph's name was changed to what? Zephnath Paneah. So let's share a screen, Sister Micaiah. We're going to go to Word.
Okay.
And I want to go ahead and read that a little bit. All right, let's see here. Let's share a screen. All righty. Entire screen. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and read again right here. It's easy to read from the screen here. So let's go ahead and do a recount here. Jasher, chapter 48, 49. We actually read 47 through 51. The book of Jasher, along with Genesis, records that Pharaoh renamed Joseph after he interpreted the king's dream, becoming ruler of Egypt. So I want to go into a little detail about it. Joseph's new name in scriptures. Genesis 41 and 45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zephnath Paneah, and gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. So in Jasher 49 and 14, after Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dream, the king exalts him and also renames him. In agreement with Genesis, we get this. This is how you know these books all come together. All this is filling in the gaps, is putting the meat on the bones. Jasher also affirms Joseph's marriage to Asenath, daughter of Potiphar. So the name given is Zephnath, what? Paneah. Let's break it down, Sister Micaiah.
All right, so Zephnath.
Paneah.
All right, the root word is to hide. The fan is the root word, okay? Which means to hide, conceal,
and to do
treasure up or store.
So his name had a meaning. It meant something. Go ahead. In the Hebrew, go ahead.
He who stores up or revealer of hidden things.
Yes.
Paneah, which is the root is panich.
Paneah is how it's pronounced.
To decipher, interpret, and reveal.
So what did he do with his dreams?
He interpreted.
He deciphered the dreams, and then he revealed what it meant.
But not only that, he came up with the solution.
That's right.
The meaning is interpreter or solver.
Yes. Together, what does his name mean?
Revealer of hidden things, or the man to whom hidden things are revealed.
Come on, let's break this down. Because remember, when we teach, we always go into the Paleo-Hebrew, but we remember there's 22 letters in the Paleo-Hebrew, but there's a number that correlates with what? Every letter.
Also, every letter has its own definition.
Yes, yes.
So we have Sadi, which is synonymous with the number 90.
Yes.
Pei, which is synonymous with the number 80. Noon, which is synonymous with the number 50. Tav, which is synonymous with the number 400.
Yes.
Pei again, which is synonymous with 80. Ayin, which is synonymous with 70.
Yes.
Noon, synonymous with 50.
Yes.
And Chet, which aligns with number 8.
Yes. The total?
1228. 1,228.
Now you add those together.
1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 8, you get 13.
Now, if you add 1 and 3 together, you get what?
4.
4 means what? Dalet.
That's the Hebrew letter that goes with the number 4.
What does that mean? What does it mean?
It's a door.
It's a door. It's an entranceway. Go ahead.
So Joseph's new name is the door of revelation, the one through whom Yahuwah opens hidden mysteries.
Y'all get that? It means the door of revelation, the one through whom Yahuwah opens hidden mysteries. And I'm a witness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Things that I couldn't figure out. I was sitting there for 4 months trying to fix my car. I could not figure it out for the life of me. Couldn't afford at that time because I was a maintenance guy, not making much money. And I couldn't afford to fix it. But that night he sent an angel, a ministering angel to me, sat him to my right-hand side, and he walked me through every step how to fix that vehicle. And the next day, it was fixed in 1 hour. 1 hour. My wife couldn't believe it. She looked at me crazy when I said, I'm going to fix that truck. She like, boy, you've been trying to fix that for 4 months now. Whatever. When I came back, you was like, your eyes was big, like, what? Mm-hmm. All right, go get us some money now. Spiritual significance. Let's break that down.
Pharaoh renamed Joseph because of his gift of interpretation and wisdom.
Yes.
But also he came up with the Most High gave him the solution.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one thing to have a problem and to come up with an interpretation. But one thing you know when it comes from the Most High, he'll always give you a solution to get through it. That's why when people give me dreams and vision, they want me to interpret it. And when I do, there's always solution behind why he gave it to them. This is deep.
And even deeper is he gave him the wisdom to store up enough to be able to feed the whole earth for 7 years.
Not just his people, not just Egypt, but he fed the whole earth. This is deep. In Egypt's eyes, Joseph was a man who could unlock what was concealed, dreams, famine, and also provision. Spiritually, this shows that Yahuwah positioned Joseph as a prophetic revealer, a savior of the nations during famine. Now, did he not say that 10 men, when he comes back this time, got a hold of the skirt of who?
A Jew.
So that we can do what? Preserve them and save them as well. This is deep. His Hebrew name, Joseph.
He will add or increase.
His Egyptian title is emphasized his roles as an interpreter to preserver of what?
Life.
He's a preserver of life. Some precepts that we can read. Proverbs 25:2. It is the glory of Elohim to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. Joseph revealed what Yahuwah concealed. That's what he did. He reveals those things that are sealed. Just like right now, his handmaids and servants. What are we doing? We're revealing those things that were sealed up a long time ago. When he said, I'm going to take your prophets, your seers away. Those things were sealed, but now they're being revealed.
Now, at the beginning of that verse, it says, it is the glory of Elohim to conceal a thing. Because why? He's going to reveal it.
And she show you how glorious it is to know the truth.
To whoever he wants to bring it out.
And that goes back to many are called, but few are chosen.
But also it's required that the king search out a matter. So we have to search things out in order to get the revelation.
That's right.
That the Most High have concealed.
That's right. You got to search it out. Daniel 2:28. But there is an Elohim in heaven that revealeth secrets. Same gifts that Joseph carried. You understand? Amos 3:7. Surely our Adonai Yahuwah will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto what?
His servants, the prophets.
His servants, the prophets. And I know exactly how that works.
To the Most High.
In summary, go ahead and read, Sister Micaiah.
So Joseph's Egyptian name, Zaphaneth-Paneah. It means revealer of hidden things or interpreter of mysteries. The numerical value comes up to 4, which is the dalet, which means doorway.
Yes.
The prophetic role. Joseph became the doorway of wisdom and preservation.
Yes.
Opening the hidden things Yahuwah revealed to save both Egypt and Yisrael.
So what is he doing with his servants right now?
We're the doorway.
We're the doorway
of wisdom,
preservation, and understanding.
Yes.
So that you can be saved
in this time of revelation.
And this time of a flood of disinformation. You're on a spiritual ark now. Now you're on a spiritual ark. By having these words of wisdom given to you, you can be saved. But only not the hearers, but the doers.
Yes.
It's not about just hearing his word. It's about doing what the Most High told us to do.
Yep.
What we have here?
Joseph, the Paleo-Hebrew meaning, numbers, and prophecy.
So let's break it down. Joseph, Paleo-Hebrew meaning, numbers, and prophecy. Name and root, spelling is Yod, Vav, Samik, Pei, Pheno. The root, Yosef, to add or what? Increase. Naming verses, and she called his name Joseph and said, Elohim has added to me another son. Genesis 30 and 24. Go ahead and read.
Paleo-Hebrew letter, the actual Paleo-Hebrew is the pictures, okay?
Yeah, pictographs. That's what we are. We're visual creatures. Go ahead.
So Yod, which is synonymous with the number 10. It's work, deed, or divine action.
Yes.
Vav is the number 6, which is a nail or peg to join, secure, or connect. Samik is the number 60, which is a prop or support to uphold or sustain.
Come on.
Pei, the final pei, is the mouth or speech, revelation, or decree.
Yes.
So the divine hand secures and supports the mouth.
Through what?
Through revelation. That is literally Joseph's calling.
That was his calling. That's why he was born.
Yep. Elohim's hand joins him to Egypt, upholds him to sustain nations, and his mouth reveals what's hidden.
In dreams, all praises to the Most High. Gematria, standard, Joseph. The number 10 plus 6 plus 60 plus 80 equals 156. 156 equals 6 times 26. A man's number, 6 times 26. Tetragrammaton or shortened form of Yahuwah is Yahweh. Yahweh's provision or Yahuwah's provisions. Multiplied amongst men. 156 equals what?
Zion as well.
Yes, as well. So that's pretty deep. 6 plus 10 plus 90 and 50 equals 156. Joseph's number equals Zion, prophetic restoration, and the double portion, Ephraim and Manasseh. Remember, he had twins. He had a double portion, being tied to the land and the future gathering. You see how deep that is?
Now, some people may not understand that double portion. He got Reuben's birthright.
That's right. Right. Reuben was the firstborn who slept with Bilhah when she got drunk. You read all this in Jasher. When she fell asleep in the tent, the angel came and told Jacob that your son had slept with your woman. And so therefore, Reuben, for 7 months, he had problems in his loins. Jacob had to pray for him every day so the Most High would not destroy him.
Not only that, Dan, the tribe of Dan lost out on the promise. So now you got Ephraim and Manasseh benefiting. Absolutely. They get double portion. They represent Joseph.
Dan was the first of our tribal members to go and start worshiping false gods. So Dan also was not considered part of the 12 tribes who become kings and priests. They'll get land and they will have an inheritance, but they will not be amongst the kings and priests, simply because Dan went astray. It's called dancing otter in the road. Or
we actually did a lesson on that too, on how they were so
we did a
full of idolatry.
We did a whole lesson on that. All praises. Joseph number equals Zion's prophetic restoration, double portion, Ephraim Manasseh, being tied to the land and future gathering. His Egyptian title, Pharaoh, title, and the prophetic fit. Zephnath Paneah in Genesis 41 and 45. You'll see different scholarly takes on the Egyptians, but it all lines up with Joseph's role. All right, go ahead and read, Sister Kaya.
So Hebrew midrashic or folk etymology.
Right.
All right.
From the Hebrew root words. These are Hebrew root words. Go ahead.
Zephnath Paneah.
It's pronounced Zephnath Paneah. Go ahead.
Revealer of the hidden.
Yes.
Safan is hide, conceal. Paneah, decipher or open. The gematria here is 208. Also 620, which totals 828.
Yes.
So 828 equals 4 times 207, and 207
equals what?
Light.
Equals
the word
what?
Light.
It equals light. That number spells light. We're children of what?
The light.
The light.
So revealing the hidden, bringing light worldwide to what was concealed.
Didn't he not say that we can't be a light on a bushel, but we need to be a light where? On a mountaintop, giving light to the whole world. That's what we got to be. We got to be a light to the whole world. All praise to the Most High.
All praises.
This is all coming together, folks. So you see how all of this is spiritual? Everything that ever happened in the past. That's why you cannot have the old without the new. All the Old Testament is doing is revealing the things that's in the spirit in the new covenant. That's all it was. It's revealing of the new, the spiritual covenant, not the carnal.
This is totally beyond something man can do.
Oh man, come on. It's so amazing when you get this.
For real.
So revealing hidden light, bringing light, times 4, worldwide. Why is this time 4? North, south, east, and west. What is the Most High's name? Yahuwah. He who brings what?
Light.
Life. He who breathes life, nail in hand. But he's breathing it from what? The 4 corners of the earth. When you read in Ezekiel 37, it says that these winds come from the 4 corners of the earth. That's that light that wakes you up and brings you out of darkness. Egyptian linguistic proposals, commonly scholar options. The goad speaks and he lives. Sustainer of life, the one who provides life in the land. Both fit Genesis 41. Joseph says Elohim will answer. 41 and 16. And he literally becomes a sustainer of life in the famine. That's in 41, 55, and 57. Go ahead and read, Sister Micaiah.
So the prophetic alignment, when we put it all together, Joseph adds or increase. That's what that name means.
That's what it means. It adds or increase.
He adds grain for 7 years, adds life to nations, and adds a double portion to Yasharel through Ephraim and Manasseh, his sons.
Yes.
The letters Yod, which is hand of Elohim,
yes,
joins, which is Vav, Joseph to Egypt to support, which is Samic, the mouth that reveals hidden counsel.
Yes.
So the Most High joined him. Joseph to Egypt in order to support the revelation.
Yes, and to save his people and to save the world.
Yep.
Because Joseph saved the world.
Yep.
Through his wisdom that came from the Most High. Go ahead.
The title, Revealer of the Hidden, Sustainer of Life, matches his dream interpretation and bread distribution calling.
Yes.
Joseph, which is equal to 156.
The same as who else?
Same as Zion, which equals 156. The restoration motif, Joseph's house or Ephraim, tied to end time gathering, which is in Ezekiel 37.
That's right.
Verses 15 to 28.
And also Jeremiah 31 as well. All praises. Meaning, name, Genesis 30 and 24. Also Psalms 115 and 14. Yahuwah shall increase and add you. Revelation through his mouth, Genesis 40 and 41. Dreams 41 and 16. Elohim will give Pharaoh what?
An answer.
Sustainer of life, Genesis 41, 35 and 57. Storehouses go to who? Joseph, because he's the one that stored these things up. Just like the Most High is storing, right now we have new storehouses, new silos, but they're in heaven, and we're getting it right now. Explanation and wisdom, Psalms 105, 17 and 22. Also Acts 7 and 9 through 14. Double portion restoration, Genesis 48. Also, you can get this in Ezekiel 37, 15 and 28, and Isaiah 11 through 13. Let's finish this off, Sister Micaiah.
So Joseph, totaling 156, same as Zion, the word Zion. The one who adds becomes the key to restoration. Hand, nail, support, mouth. The hand of Elohim secures a support for revelation.
Yes.
The title fit is the revealer of the hidden, sustainer of life, exactly what Joseph did in Egypt.
All praises to the Most High. All praise. Composite meaning the hand of Elohim secures, supports the mouth of revelation, Joseph life. Fulfills this as he's revealed hidden dreams and sustained nations. So it's deep, and I love this here. Numerical value again is 156, the same as Zion, 156. His life points to the restoration and regathering of the children of Israel. Now, let's go ahead and stop sharing here, and let's go ahead and do something here. I'm going to go back out.
Yeah, and that's another thing, because all the 70 souls that were with Jacob actually had to wind up going to Egypt.
Yes. Now, I want to give you guys and gals some something that lets you understand that when you read this, the carnal part, it's basically fulfilling the spiritual. You got to go on your iPad now. It's fulfilling the spiritual part. And so when we talk about storehouses, I want to go through some scriptures and give you guys a deeper understanding how that was spiritually symbolic of what's going on right now. You got it? All praises. All right. So there's a book we want to go to, Baruch, chapter 3, 15 through 20. Let's go there. The book of Baruch, chapter 3, 15 through 20.
First Baruch?
Yeah, it should be first Baruch. Double check it for me. Who is found in her place? It should be first. That's
first Baruch, family.
Go ahead and read 15 through 20, please.
All right. First Baruch, chapter 3, verse 15. Who has found out her place, or who has come into her treasures? Where are the princes of the heathen become, and such as rule the beasts upon the earth? They that had their pastime with the fowls of the air, and they that hoarded up silver and gold, wherein men trust, and made no end of their getting.
Yes.
For they that wrought in silver and were so careful, and whose works are unsearchable, they are vanished and gone down to Sheol.
Come on.
And others are come up in their steeds. Young men have seen light and dwelt upon the earth.
Yes.
But the way of knowledge have they not known.
They have not known the way of knowledge which comes from above. Go ahead.
Nor understood the path thereof, nor laid hold of it.
Yes.
Their children were far off from that way.
Come on. All praises. Wisdom here is compared to hidden treasures, a storehouse, only known to Yahuwah. When we read Baruch 13, 15, and 20, is a direct connection to the idea of wisdom being stored up like grain in a silo. And that's something that we need to understand, that we have to store this wisdom up, just like grain in a silo. Let's read Job 38 and 22. Job 38 and 22.
Have you entered into the treasures of the snow, or have you seen the treasures of the hail?
Come on. The Hebrew word for treasure here is atzar, which also means storehouse, treasury, or silo. The verses connect the idea that the Most High has storehouses in heaven. This is what we got to understand. And these are the storehouses that we need to be trying to seek from, both of judgment, hell, blessings, snow, and also what else?
Dew.
Also dew. Go ahead and read, Sister Micaiah.
So, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 20 and 21, it says, they sang praises, for wisdom opened the mouth of the dumb and made the tongues of babes to speak clearly.
Yes.
So throughout Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, wisdom is personified as a guiding force for the righteous.
Yes.
She is described as preserving, leading, feeding, and storing up deliverance.
So you say, why do you call her she? When you read the Wisdom of Solomon and you read other verses of the prophets, you'll learn that the Holy Spirit is a nurturing spirit. That's why she's called a comforter. Just like your mother, your grandmother. You can go lay on your granddaddy, you can lay on your dad, but you're comfortable on your mother's bosom. You're comfortable on your grandmother's bosom. Like my grandbabies, I'll hold them, but they want to go lay on their grandmother. Wisdom is a nurturing spirit. It's wisdom. And we know that wisdom comes from where? Above. These are the storehouses. Ecclesiastes or Sirach 1 and 1 and 39, 1 and 8. Go ahead and read.
All wisdom comes from Yahuwah and is with him forever. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men. If he give ear, he shall be wise, and he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding.
Man, so where does wisdom come from?
Above.
These are these storehouses, folks. Sirach 39 describes a wise man as drawing from a deep storehouse of prophecy, judgment, and more than anything else, commandments that he's given the people. Second Esdras, or fourth Ezra, 14, 45, and 47.
And it came to pass when the 40 days were fulfilled that El Elyon spoke, saying, the first that you have written, publish openly, but keep the 70 last, that you may deliver them only to such as be wise among the people.
Go ahead and read.
This passage shows books of wisdom being stored up.
Yes.
Only to be revealed to the righteous remnant.
This is where we at. We're the righteous what?
Remnant.
Go ahead.
The hidden books represent the storehouse of spiritual knowledge.
What were the hidden books? Didn't the Vatican take these from us? Did they not take these from us?
Mm-hmm.
Did not these other nations hide our books and gave us 66? Remember, Constantine did that. He took our books and gave us 66 canons and took the rest. This has 81 books. Mm-hmm. And we have so many more that have been revealed to us in these times. The Testament of the 12 patriarchs. Huh? Let's think about it. Those are books that were hidden from us. What other books that you can think of?
Letter of Aristeas.
Clement.
Fourth Ezra.
We go into the Pseudo, Susanna. What about the Dead Sea Scrolls found in 1948 in the Cameroon caves?
Yeah.
All of these books.
Solomon.
Come on, man. All this stuff was hidden from us. But now we're in the time of the highway. And we're right now, as I said before, we're on chariots, baby. And we're going warp speed down this highway.
Come on.
Because we're waking up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, this is deep. Amos 8, 11 through 12. Behold, the day comes, says Yahuwah, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, but of hearing the word of Yahuwah. Did y'all get that? Read that again, Sister Micaiah. So they understand this spiritual manna that we're getting right now.
Amos chapter 8, verses again, 11 and 12. Behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that I will send a famine in the land.
Boy, we've had a famine.
Not a famine of bread.
Not of bread.
But of hearing the words of Yahuwah.
Come on. Joseph stored corn to prepare for the physical famine. Yahuwah stores wisdom for the remnant to endure spiritual famine. This is why he's giving us this. We've been so hungry going to churches starving. You know, we go in there hungry, we come out starving. We go in these churches and we're thirsty and we come out parched. There's been a famine. There's been a thirst. But now we got these living waters. And now we got this hidden manna being given us from heaven. All praises to the Most High. Proverbs 2, 6 and 7. Go ahead and read.
It says, for Yahuwah gives wisdom, out of his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He lays up sound wisdom for the righteous.
So when he says laid up, what does that mean? He's storing it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's storing it for who?
The righteous.
He's storing it for who?
The righteous.
So only the righteous can give you this, folks. If people out there saying and doing things they have no business, saying one thing and doing another, this is not going to be revealed to them, period. Even if it's revealed to them, they have no comprehension. Why? Because they won't have eyes to see nor ears to hear. Because they're called, but they're not chosen.
Yep.
This is deep. For Yahuwah gives wisdom out of the mouth. It comes down knowledge and understanding. He lays up sound wisdom for the righteous. Go ahead and break this down, Sister Micaiah. Hebrew.
Safan is to lay up, hide, or treasure. This verse is a direct parallel to the idea of storehouses.
Yes.
Yahuwah stores up wisdom like Joseph.
He stores up wisdom just like what?
Like Joseph stored up grain.
Just like Joseph stored up the grain, folks. He's been storing it up for us. And now he's opening storehouses. Now he's opening them just like Joseph had to do. Why? Because a lot of us, we were getting direction early on in these churches. But the thing is, we didn't follow all the directions. Why? Because our books weren't here. We didn't have the many books of knowledge. And so therefore, we didn't know that we're supposed to put the soil with it. We didn't know that we're supposed to keep the corn on the ears. We didn't have the complete instruction. So therefore, vermins have been in there. Therefore, we've had all these rats in the houses, the storehouses. All this has happened with our people. But now We're getting this wisdom from above. And that storehouse, just like Joseph, when he stored the corn, he kept the soil. He kept the corn on the ears. He did it the right way, according to the blueprint of Yahuwah, not following his heart, like a lot of us have been doing. And so now we're getting that corn, that spiritual manna, that spiritual corn, that spiritual flour. Now we got that hidden bread. All praise to the Most High. Go ahead, Sister Kaya.
Praises. It says, let's do a symbolic comparison between Joseph and Yahusha, right? So Joseph and Yahusha both had wisdom of the Most High. Joseph stored corn in Egypt. The Most High, through his son, stores wisdom in heaven.
Yes. Prepared Israel for famine and prepares Israel for spiritual what? Famine. Go ahead.
All right. So Joseph gave bread to Gentiles and Hebrews.
Yes.
Just like the bread of life from heaven is given to Yasharel and Gentiles.
Others. Yes. Yes.
So Joseph was called Savior of Egypt, and Yahusha is the true Savior of Yasharel.
Y'all see the parallels here? Let's break this Paleo-Hebrew. Let's break it down in Paleo-Hebrew. Storehouse is a treasury. The word is what?
Atzar.
Atzar means storehouse or treasury. Alf is the first letter. It means strength or leader. The second letter is Vav, which means nail or connection. Sadi is the third one, means righteousness or path, putting your feet on the right path, walking in righteousness. Resh is the next one, means head and chief. We all have different gifts. We all make up the body, but we only got one what? One head, one chief. Symbolically, it means the strong leader connects the righteous to the chief treasury.
Oh, praises.
Did y'all get that? Sister Micaiah, read that again, please.
When you put all those meanings together, it means the strong leader connects the righteous to the chief treasury.
Man, boy, that's what we want, the chief treasury, right?
Yeah, and I mean, listen, those of you in this walk, I mean, y'all may feel them downloads from the Most High. He's parsing it out, you know?
Yeah. And then this is why, like I say, you hear that frequency in your ear. This is why when you wake up, all of a sudden, you're like, man, why did that come to me? Or why am I dreaming this? Or why did I have that vision? Or why is that? The Most High is giving you that hidden manna. He's opening up his storehouses to his children. But only those who seek. He said, if you knock, I'll come into you and sup with you. Those who are knocking, he's giving you that hidden manna right now. But the difference is, he's getting a double portion of what our ancestors got. All praises. Numerical value, 1 plus 6 plus 90 plus 200 equals what? 297. 2 plus 9 plus 7 equals what?
18.
18. 1 plus 8 equals what?
9.
9 equals what?
Fruits of the Spirit and divine completion.
It equals what?
Divine completion and fruits of the Spirit.
All praises to the Most High. Some additional precepts you guys can write down. Wisdom, hidden and revealed. Proverbs 25:2.
One more thing I want to say about 9. 9 also is a number of truth.
Absolutely.
You know.
And what's coming out today?
True.
So we've been called the what? Captives, right?
Yes.
Huh? We've been called the lost sheep, right? But the truth is setting us what?
Free.
Setting us free. Precept. Wisdom, hidden and revealed. Proverbs 25:2. Is the glory of Elohim to conceal a thing. Hidden manna, which is hidden wisdom, which is in Revelation 2:17. Hidden manna, hidden wisdom. Go ahead, Sister Micaiah.
Hidden treasures of darkness is Isaiah 45:3. Joseph storing corn for Yasharel is Genesis 41 verses 48 and 49. Yahusha as bread of life is John chapter 6 verse 35.
Oh, praises. In summary, Yahuwah stores up wisdom in heavenly storehouses, just like Joseph did. Just like he stored up corn. These storehouses are open to the righteous remnant, especially during times of spiritual famine, tribulation, and also redemption. The apocryphal books Baruch, 2nd Ezra, and Sirach, along with Proverbs and Job, reveal the mystery with clear metaphors and languages rooted in Paleo-Hebrew and also divine prophecy. All praise to the Most High. All praises. Okay, what time we got? 2:44?
It's 3:06.
Okay, all praises to the Most High. Okay, so we're supposed to be reading out of 2nd Ezra's as well, right? A couple chapters, Sister Micaiah. We're going to read for about 30 minutes or so. And then what we're going to do is just, all right, so we're going to go through another book that's so important as well. And all these books are. We're going to go into 2nd Ezra or
4th Ezra.
4th Ezra is what we're going to go into right now. Now, unless you have these apocryphal books, you won't have these here. So I just want to give you that. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Actually, I'm just reading out of my seat for there. A lot of times I'll read out of my tablet. But this is one of those days that the Holy Spirit just got me reading out of the book. 4th Ezra, you can go ahead and start, Sister Micaiah.
All right. And it's also called the Apocalypse of Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
It says, the second sefer of the prophet Ezra, the son of Serayahu, the son of Azaryahu, the son of Kilkiyahu, the son of Shalom, the son of Sadak, the son of Akitub, the son of Avishua, the son of Pinachek, the son of Eli, the son of Amaryahu, the son of Azaryahu, the son of Meriah, the son of Buki, the son of Avishua, the son of Pinachak, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron of the tribe of Levi, which was captive in the land of Madai in the reign of Artaxerxes, king of the Persians. So you see, Ezra was a Levite, okay? It says, and the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, go your way and show my people their sinful deeds, and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children. So do you see how the Most High always gives a warning? He lets people know this is what you are doing to really get on my bad side, to bring judgment to yourself.
Yeah, that's real.
And so this is important because in churches, it's become a pattern to tickle people's ears.
That's it.
That is totally against the way the Most High
tickling
operates.
the ears here. We give you the truth.
They call it judging when you tell them you need to stop doing this, this, and that.
But the word is already judged.
Right.
Because it's written.
There it goes.
So why do you say that we judging you? Did not Yeshua say I'm going to cut you with the sword of my mouth?
Yep.
You've already been cut by this word. We're in, where we at? 4th Ezra, chapter 1.
Verse 5. It says, go your way and show my people their sinful deeds, and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children.
And that's what we're doing right now. We're telling our people of our sinful deeds in the past. But not only that, giving instruction on how you get past this, and so that you fill your lamps with oil.
Verse 6. Because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me and have offered to strange Elohim. And so understand that sin increases with each generation.
Yes, it does.
As you continue in ignorance. And we see that.
Absolutely.
We are living witnesses, every last one of us.
Yes.
Verse 7 says, am not I even he that brought them out of the land of Mitzrayim from the house of bondage? But they have provoked me to wrath and despised my counsels. Pull off then the hair of your head and cast all evil upon them. For they have not been obedient to my Torah.
Not obedient to what?
His law.
Y'all been told that the laws are done away with. This is why we've been going through perpetual hell. We've been told by these Gentiles and these pastors that the law is done away with. We shouldn't be doing it. It's not the letter of the law, but we should be doing them in what? Spirit.
Yes.
We should be following this. That's that renewed covenant. It's a spiritual covenant. That's when the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, takes hold of you and brings on a change.
Yep. Now, this verse, how verse 8 started, where he says, pull off the hair of their head. And what did they say in Corinthians? What does it say? That the hair is your covering.
Yep.
So now he's saying,
you're not covered.
Basically, you are not covering, so all evil will be cast upon you.
Come on now.
Okay?
Good one. I like that.
My goodness. Verse 9, how long shall I forbear them into whom I have done so much good? Many kings have I destroyed for their sake.
Yes, he has.
Pharaoh with his servants and all his powers have I smitten down. All the nations have I destroyed before them. Yes. And in the east I have scattered the people of 2 provinces, even of Sor and Sidon, and have slain all their enemies.
Come on.
Speak therefore to them, saying, thus says Yahuwah, I led you through the sea, and in the beginning gave you a large and safe passage.
Come on.
I gave you Moshe for a leader, and Aaron for a priest.
Come on.
I gave you light and a pillar of fire, and great wonders have I done among you.
Come on.
Yet have ye forgotten me, says Yahuwah.
See, if we, you know why he say he picking this generation? We ain't see none of this. And the only way we gonna get in the kingdom, we gotta do about what? Faith. This is why he's picking the people from this generation, because everything we're reading, everything that we believe is through faith. Our ancestors didn't have that. They didn't have it. As soon as a prophet passed away, they went backwards again. Yeah. As soon as they left the earth. Let's keep reading.
All right, this 4th Ezra chapter 1, verse 15. Thus says El Shaddai Yahuwah, the quails were as a sign to you. I gave you tents for your safeguard. Nevertheless, ye murmured there, and triumphed not in my name for the destruction of your enemies, but ever to this day do ye yet murmur. Where are the benefits that I have done for you? When ye were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did ye not cry to me, saying, why have you brought us into this wilderness to kill us? It had been better for us to have served the Mitzrayim.
I was just reading that.
Than to die in this wilderness.
Yes.
Then had I pity upon your mourning and gave you manna to eat. So ye did eat angels' bread.
Come on.
When ye were thirsty, did I not cleave the rock and waters flowed out to your fill? For the heat I covered you with the leaves of the trees.
Come on.
I divided among you a fruitful land. I cast out the Canaanite, the Perizim, and the Pelishtim before you. What shall I yet do more for you?
Come on. I did everything. What do y'all want from me? Go ahead.
Thus says El Shaddai Yahuwah, when ye were in the wilderness, in the river of the Emorym, being athirst and blaspheming my name, I gave you not fire for your blasphemies, but cast a tree in the water and made the river sweet.
Yes.
What shall I do to you, O Yaakov? You, Yehuda, would not obey me. I will turn me to other nations, and to those will I give my name.
Wait a minute. He said he was going to do what?
Turn to other nations.
And give them what?
His name.
What do these people call themselves Israel right now? Another nation that he gave his name. I want y'all to get this. This is why all of this happened. You see, this book here fills in the bones when you read the Bible. So you have a deeper understanding of how the Most High thought and how the prophets thought and why he did what he did. This is why they took these books from us. They did not want us to have this deeper understanding.
Yep.
The book of, where we at? We're in 4th Ezra, 2nd Ezra.
Chapter 1, verse, I'm at the bottom of verse 24.
Go ahead.
That they may guard my statutes. Seeing ye have forsaken me, I will forsake you also.
Come on.
When ye desire me to be gracious to you, I shall have no mercy upon you.
This is why our ancestors, when they hollered out, he didn't answer. He had no mercy upon us.
Whensoever ye shall call upon me, I will not hear you, for ye have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter. Ye have not, as it were, forsaken me, but your own selves.
Say that again. Yahuwah. You didn't forsake him. The Most High, you forsake yourselves. I told you in Deuteronomy, I gave you all the blessings you would get if you listened to me, if you would hearken. But I told you also if you forbear. Exactly what I was going to do to you, 16 to 28. So I told you, if you listen, you'll have blessings. But if you don't listen, or if you forbear, you're going to get these curses.
Yep.
Go ahead and read.
4th Ezra, chapter 1, verse 28. Thus says El Shaddai Yahuwah, have I not prayed you as a father his sons, as a mother her daughters, and a nurse her young babes?
Come on.
That ye would be my people, and I should be your Elohim, that ye would be my children, and I should be your father. I gathered you together as a hen gathers her chickens under her wing.
Come on.
But now, what shall I do to you? I will cast you out from my face. When ye offer to me, I will turn my face from you.
Yes.
For your solemn feast days, your new moons, and your circumcisions have I forsaken. I sent to you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain.
Come on.
And torn their bodies in pieces.
Come on.
Blood I will require of your hands.
This is why, folks, they came into Americas and took everything. This is why they came to Israel over there and took everything. This is why they came to the four corners of the earth and took everything. The Most High said, because we delivered up the prophets who he sent to give us direction, we turned them all in and we destroyed them all. So he says, their blood is on your hands. And this is why we've gone through so much. You see why you got to have these books? You see why they took these books from us? Let's keep reading. Let's get some.
Now, even down to New Testament, where Yahusha gave that parable about the farmer. He had the land and people working the land, and he sent different messengers that people beat up. Then he sent his son. They beat him up and killed him too. This lines up with that. Okay. Verse 33, thus says El Shaddai Yahuwah, your house is desolate. I will cast you out as the wind does stubble, and your children shall not be fruitful, for they have despised my commandment and done the thing that is an evil before me.
Who is this book written for?
Yesharel.
Who is this book written to?
Yesharel.
So who is this book talking about?
Yesharel.
It's talking about our people.
35.
This explains why you've gone through so much in America and the four corners of the earth.
Yep.
35.
Your houses will I give to a people that shall come.
What do you do in America with our houses?
Give them to a people.
He gave them to a people that came. You call them Europeans.
Yep.
Okay. He gave them to these people. Go ahead.
Which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me.
Say that again.
Which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me.
But they believed him. Go ahead.
To whom I have showed no signs.
None.
Yet they shall do the things that I command them.
Come on now.
They have seen no prophets, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them.
See, at one point, the Gentiles was listening more than we were. This is when they took our names, our books, start reading them, and actually believed, and actually kept some of these holy days, and they were doing things that were right. But over time, guess what happened to them? Look at them. Look what they're doing now with the babies. Look what they're doing right now with religion. Look what they're doing right now with our people, or have done throughout these last 3,000 years. Remember, we was as numerous as the sands of the sea, but we're just a remnant. So that means that they had to do what? They had to take us out. Now, their blood is at his hand. That's why you see the earthquakes, the tornadoes, and everything's at record numbers right now. They're saying there's more rainfall in certain areas than ever fell since they took note. I was looking at this morning. Ever since record has been keeping, we got more floods, more storms, more tornadoes. It's called birthing pains.
Yeah.
Because we're about to be delivered. That's why the chariots are everywhere. They keep coming on the earth. They keep camouflaging. Now they're over all the European nations, letting them know that I see everything that you're doing. And I know everything you've been doing. 4th Ezra, 2nd Ezra.
Chapter 1, verse 37. I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness.
Come on.
And though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in the Ruach they believe the thing that I say.
Come on.
And now, brother, behold what glory, and see the people that come from the east.
Yes.
Unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, Husha, Amos.
So go back and read 38 again.
And now, brother, behold what glory, and see the people that come from the east.
Start again.
37?
Yes.
I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness.
So he said the people to what? Come. Who are the little ones? We are. What are we doing? We're rejoicing in what? Gladness now. Why? Because we know the truth now. We're doing this without even seeing anything. We're doing this through faith. Go ahead and read.
Whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in the Ruach they believe the thing that I say.
Come on.
And now, brother, behold what glory, and see the people that come from the east. unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, Husha, Amos, and Micaiah, Yoel, Obadiah, and Jonah, Nahum, and Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is called also an angel of Yahuwah.
Ooh, that's deep there. So he's saying, who are those people?
These are all the prophets. And these books, these little books he's naming.
All these books he's naming.
Hosea, Amos.
He says that these children will rejoice.
Yeah.
And they will rejoice in the gladness, though they have not seen him. But we will see him later, because he says he's going to meet with us again in the wilderness, face to face. We believe now. Folks, these words speak truth. 4th Ezra, 2nd Ezra, chapter 2. Thus says Yahuwah, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments, my manservants, my prophets, whom they would not hear, but despise my counsel. The mother that bore them says to them, go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken. He's talking about the city of Zion. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and in heaviness have I lost you. For you have sinned before Yahuwah Elohim, and done the things that is evil before him. But what shall I do? What shall I now do to you? I am a widow and forsaken. Go your way, O my children, and ask mercy of Yahuwah. As for me, O Father, I call upon you for a witness over the mother of these children, which would not guard my covenant, that you bring them to confusion. What do you say gonna bring us to?
Confusion.
And their mother to a spoil, that there be no offspring of them. Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant. Woe be to you, Asher, you that hide the unrighteous in you. You wicked people, remember what I did to Sodom and Gomorrah, whose land lies in clods of pitch and heaps and ashes. Even so also will I do to them that hear me not, says El Shaddai Yahuwah. 2nd Ezra, or 4th Ezra, 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, verse 10. Thus says Yahuwah to Ezra, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given to Israel. So what did he say to Sister Micaiah? What is he going to do to them?
He's going to give their kingdom away.
He said he's going to give Jerusalem away. What was that land over there called before it was called Israel?
Palestine.
It was called Palestine, but it's also called Jerusalem. Okay, he says their glory also will I take to me, and I will give these everlasting tabernacles, which I prepared for them. They shall have a tree of life for an ointment of sweet savor. They shall neither labor nor be weary. Go, and ye shall receive prey for a few days, and you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. You see that? He said the kingdom is what? Already prepared. Watch, take heaven and earth to witness, for I have broken the evil in pieces and created the good. For I live, says Yahuwah. Mother, embrace your children and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar. For I have chosen you, says Yahuwah. What does he mean when he says make their feet fast as a pillar, Sister Micaiah? In 15.
Well, a pillar stands still.
That's right. It's grounded.
It holds things up.
It holds up the house.
Holds up buildings.
So he said, Mother, ground your children in his word. Yep. So they can be a pillar in my kingdom. That's what he's saying here right now.
Yes.
For I have chosen you, says Yahuwah, and those that be dead. What does he say he's going to do with our dead? I will raise up again from their places and bring them out of their graves.
Yeah.
For I have known, it says, get this, for I have known my name in Israel. Fear not, you mother of the children, for I have chosen you, says Yahuwah. For your help will I send my servants, Yeshayahu, Jeremiah, after whose counsel I have sanctified and prepared for you 12 trees laden with diverse fruits, and as many fountains flowing with milk and honey, and 7 mighty mountains, whereupon there grows roses and lilies, whereby I will fill your children with joy. Do right to the widow, judge for the fatherless, give to the poor, defend the orphan, and clothe the naked. What did he say again? We need to be doing, Sister Micaiah.
He's still going on.
He's still going on.
Verse 21.
I know, but I want you to reiterate what you said.
Do right to the widow, which is those women who have lost their husbands.
Yes.
Judge for the fatherless.
Yes, what we need to do.
Give to the poor.
Come on, what else we need to do?
Defend the orphans.
And there's something else we need to do.
Clothe the naked.
This is why we go out. It says, heal the broken and the weak. Laugh not at a lame man to scorn. When you see a handicapped man, you're not supposed to pick at him. You don't pick at people who've gotten bodily parts, because the Most High is going to make them whole. But he sees everything you're doing. It says, defend the maimed and let the blind man come into the sight of my clearness. Ooh. Now, he's not just talking about physically blind.
Right.
He's talking about the ones that are spiritually blind. Wow. It says, keep the old and the young within your walls. It says, wheresoever you find the dead, take them and bury them. And I will give you what?
The first place in my resurrection.
So when you see the dead, he says, when you go bury the dead, I'll give you the first place in my resurrection. I think about Tobit. Mm-hmm. Remember, Tobit was persecuted because he would always bury the dead. But the Most High always had favor with him because he would always go bury the dead. Mm-hmm. Verse 24, it says, abide still, O my people, and take your rest, for your quietness still come. Nourish your children, O good nurse. Establish their feet. As for the servants whom I have given you, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from amongst your number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness comes, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but you shall be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy you. I want y'all to get this. The heathen shall envy you, but they shall not be able to do anything against you.
But this is also important because he's saying when the day of trouble, that is tribulation. Tribulation is trouble, family. Yes. He's saying don't be weary.
And Jacob has had his trouble for over 3,000 years.
Yes.
Because you got to remember, we was numerous as the sands of the sea. Why are we a remnant? Because Jacob has already had his trouble. We've been going through so much hell on this earth, and we still do. Yeshua say, if they persecute me, they're going to persecute you because you're my brother.
But it says we will be merry and have abundance during that time of tribulation.
So stop worrying about food and clothing. Stop worrying about shelter. The Most High says he's going to take us up in his arms. He's going to put his arms around us, put us in the palm of his hand.
And the heathens are going to envy us.
And what are they doing right now? What have they been doing? When I asked my neighbor, why do they do this to us? Why do you think they act like this? He's an older YT man, good man. I love him to death. He's my buddy. You know what he told me? He says, Lorenzo, you want me to tell you the truth? Because we jealous of y'all.
And it's clear.
That's what he said. We're jealous of y'all.
Look at how they always want us to take our locks out, take our braids out to get a job.
Don't want us to grow a beard.
Yeah.
You understand? Want us to wear their clothing.
Yep.
You know, we put on ours and something ain't right. It's a
problem.
You know, I see one wrestler where they made him cut his locks off in order for him to finish a match. They're jealous of us. As a fact, Michelle had us one the other day begging to touch her hair.
No, she didn't even ask. She just, I'm like, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even ask.
They're amazed at us.
Yes.
Folks. The scriptures explain everything.
Yes.
But the Most High, they would say they would not be able to do what? Anything against us. Why do you think he's got his weapons of nations here now? Why do you think the president had to talk about Denmark and these chariots that are over them? And they're over all these areas and over all their military bases. Those are our weapons. Those are for us. As Elijah told his servant, look, open his eyes. Folks, I need you to look and open your eyes spiritually.
Yeah.
When he opened his eyes, there were myriads. Myriads means tens of thousands of men on horses and chariots and so-called UFOs, which are not. They were called chariots everywhere. Folks, open your eyes. We've got myriads, tens of thousands of weapons at our disposal.
Yes.
All you got to do is call on the Most High. Huh. Man, please get me started here.
I'm telling you, what verse we on?
4th Ezra, 2nd Ezra.
Verse 29.
Chapter 2, verse 27.
20. Oh, you're going to read it again. Okay.
It says, be not weary when the day of trouble and heaviness comes. Others will weep and be sorrowful, but you shall be merry and have abundance. 28. And the heathen shall envy you, but they shall not be able to do nothing against you, says Yahuwah. My hand shall cover you, so that your children shall not see Sheol. Be joyful, O mother, with your children, for I will deliver you, says Yahuwah. Remember your children that sleep. A lot of us have children that have been killed or unalive, especially by these people who pull them over or do things. I'm one of them. But when I read these words right here, I get comfort, because this is what he says next. Remember your children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth and show mercy to them, for I am merciful, says Yahuwah. So vote. Embrace your children until I come and show mercy to them. What did he say do with your children?
Embrace them.
He didn't say kick them out the house.
Show them
he didn't
mercy.
Say be sitting there and beating your children down. The Most High commanded us to embrace your children and show what to them?
Show them mercy.
He said, if you don't show mercy, I'll show no mercy to you. If he said, if you don't love your brother, you don't love me. So how much more do you think when he's talking about your children?
Now, just to clarify, that don't mean keep a disrespectful child in your house.
They need to be kicked out. With,
you know what
they
I'm
need
saying?
to have electric boots when they get kicked out. If you got a child talking you the wrong way, or a child disrespecting you, or a child that's got you in fear that they may hit you, they need to get out of your house. Because you know what we did to those children in the past? We stoned them. All of us got together. When that mother said, this child won't listen to me, they won't do what I say, and this child is a thorn in my back, all the tribes will get together and stone them. So get your spiritual stones out for them children. But the rest, you need to show mercy.
Embrace and show mercy, because they're going to make mistakes.
He's telling us what to do in these last days.
Yep.
Your children are going to make mistakes. They're not going to be perfect.
And they're a lot weaker.
And a lot of you don't remember what you did when you was their age. All of a sudden, you're so holy, you don't forgot. Not realizing that they are a what? Reflection of you.
Come on.
Just giving you precept by precept, line by line, so you know how to move in these days. It says, for I am merciful, says Yahuwah Sabaoth. Embrace your children until I come, and show mercy to them. For my well run is over, and my grace shall not fail. I, Ezra, received the charge of Yahuwah upon Mount Orah, that I should go to Israel. But when I came to them, they set me at naught, and despised the commandment of Yahuwah. And I, therefore, I say to you, O you heathen that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand, that shall come to the end of the world. Be ready. Get this. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. Flee the shadow of this world. What do he ask us to do?
Flee that darkness.
Flee that darkness.
Shadow of this world.
Flee the shadow of this world. That's called darkness. Receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly. Oh, receive the gift that is given you, to be glad, giving thanks to him that has led you to the heavenly kingdom. What is he leading us where?
To the heavenly kingdom.
With these words, arise and stand. Behold, the number of those that be sealed in the feast of Yahuwah, which are departed from the shadow of the world, and have received glorious garments of Yahuwah. Take your number, O Zion, and shut up those of yours that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the truth of Yahuwah. The Torah of Yahuwah. It says they fulfilled what?
His law.
Folks, y'all got to remember, you got to go learn those first 5 books. You need to be doing them spiritually. That Torah is important. If you don't know the Torah, you know none of our Father's ways.
Yep.
Man. 41. It says, the number of your children whom you long for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of Yahuwah, that your people who have been called from when?
The beginning.
May be what?
Hallowed.
He said we were called from what?
The beginning.
Before the earth was ever created. I, Ezra, saw upon Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number. And they all praised Yahuwah with songs. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads, he set crowns, as were more excellent, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, who are these? And he answered and said to me. So who is he asking? Who is who? That multitude was what?
That multitude getting crowns on
that
their
no
heads,
man could what? Number.
On top of Mount Zion.
That no man could number. He's asking who these people are. And guess what was answered? Because I know your Christian churches will tell you that it's these other Gentiles and these other people. But I want you to get an understanding of who he was really putting crowns on. Get this. It says, those be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on immortal. They have confessed the name of Elohim. Then they are crowned to receive palms. Then I said to the angel, what young person is these crowns? To them that gives them the palms in their hands. So he answered and said to me, it is the son of Elohim, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to command them, and stood so stiffly for the name of Yahuwah. Then the angel said to me, go your way and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders Yahuwah Elohika you have seen. All praises. Chapter 3, Sister Kaya.
All right, it says, in the 30th year after the ruin of the city, I was in Babel and lay troubled upon my bed, and my thoughts came up over my heart. For I saw the desolation of Zion and the wealth of them that dwelt at Babel. And my ruach was sore moved, so that I began to speak words full of fear to El Elyon and said, O Yahuwah Adonai, you spoke at the beginning when you did plant the earth, and that by yourself alone, and commanded the people and gave.
I'm going to say this here because, excuse me, sweetheart, I don't think we're going to get to chapter 13, but I want to go ahead and expound who was these people carried away. Second Ezra chapter 13, 39 and 44. It says, and whereas you saw and gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king whose Shalmaneser, the king of Asher, led captive away. And he carried them over the waters. And they came into a land, but they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go further into a country where neither mankind knew or dwelt, that they might guard their statues, and that they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Bereth by a narrow place, and the river of El Elyon showed signs and wonders, and he stood the wave still, and they passed over. And you'll learn they passed over to Azareth, which we call America today.
Now, when you Google Azareth, it will tell you that that is America.
It's America.
Yes, it will.
So that's where he's talking about the multitude that no man could number. It's the 10.5 tribes that was carried to America. That was in 722. 70 AD is when Benjamin, Levi, and Judah ended up leaving Israel over there. It was called Jerusalem. All praise to the Most High. We're in chapter 3, verse
5.
Okay,
and gave a body to Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of your hands, and did breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before you. And you led him into paradise, which your right hand had planted before ever the earth came forward.
So he said, before the earth was made, Adam was sitting in paradise. You see that?
Yeah, but some people don't realize too that Adam and Eve were not created in the garden. He created them outside of the garden and then brought them into it.
Absolutely.
All right. Verse 7 says, and to him you gave commandment to love your way, which he transgressed. And immediately you appointed death in him and in his generations.
Because back then there was a circle of what?
Life.
When that circle was broke,
continuous.
When it was continuous, but when it was broke, it was a number what?
It fell
6.
short. 6.
That's 6. That's a broken circle. The number of man, the number of sin. It represents sin. Go ahead.
It says, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number.
All come from Adam.
And every people walked after their own will and did wonderful things before you and despised your commandments. And again, in process of time, you brought the flood upon those that dwelt in the world and destroyed them. And it came to pass in every one of them that as death was to Adam, so was the flood to these.
Yes.
Nevertheless, one of them you left, namely Noah, with his household, of whom came all righteous men. And it happened that when they that dwelt upon the earth began to multiply and had gotten them many children and were a great people, they began again to be more wicked than the first.
Come on.
Now, when they lived so wickedly before you, you did choose you a man from among them, whose name was Abraham. Him you loved, and to him only you showed your will.
Yes.
And made an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that you would never forsake his seed.
Come on.
And to him you gave Yitzhak, and to Yitzhak also you gave Yaakov and Esau. As for Yaakov, you did choose him to you, and put by Esau.
Did he say he chose Ishmael?
No.
He said, did he choose? He didn't choose Ishmael, and he didn't choose Esau. He chose who?
Yaakov.
Chose Jacob, Jacob, and that's who we come from.
And so Yaakov became a great multitude. And it came to pass that when you led his seed out of Mizraim, you brought them up to the Mount Sinai. And bowing the heavens, you did set fast the earth, moved the whole world, and made the depths to tremble, and troubled the men of that age.
Yes.
And your glory went through 4 gates of fire, and of earthquake, and of wind, and of cold, that you might give the Torah to the seed of Yaakov, and diligence to the generation of Yesharel.
Yes.
And yet took you not away from them a wicked heart.
No, he didn't.
That your Torah might bring forth fruit in them.
What? You see that? Ezra asked that question, why did you make us perfect? He said, Ezra, I give my children a law so I can see the fruit that comes from them. That's why he did that. He could have made us perfect. You know, he could have did all of that. But he said, you know what? I'm going to see who's going to listen to me. Just like you do with your children. I'm going to see which one of you jokers going to listen to me and which one is going to forbear. That's what the Most High did. He didn't make us perfect because he didn't want to be a dictator. What he wanted to do was be a loving parent. He wanted to give us choice and free will. Well, otherwise, we would not have free will. It's like you in slavery. You just got to do what you're told. But he gave each one of us free will. Every man is his own Adam or Eve. So let's stop blaming Adam and Eve when we get a choice as well.
Second Ezra 3, verse 21. For the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed and was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him. Thus infirmity was made permanent, and the Torah also in the heart of the people with the malignity of the root.
Come on.
So that the good departed away and the evil abode still.
You heard that? Wow, that's deep. It said the root of evil was still there. Go ahead.
Doesn't it remind you of the angel when you watch the cartoons? You got the angel on one side and the devil on the other.
Yes.
And based on the choice you make, one is going to depart. So
the devil can't do nothing to you without permission.
With humanity, they chose the evil.
They chose it.
Verse 23. So the times passed away and the years were brought to an end. Then did you raise up a servant called David, whom you commanded to build a city to your name and to offer incense and oblations to you therein. When this was done many years, then they that inhabited the city forsook you. And in all things did even as Adam and all his generations had done.
Yes.
For they also had a wicked heart.
Yes.
And so you gave your city over into the hands of your enemies. Are their deeds then any better that inhabit Babel, that they should therefore have the dominion over Zion?
So Ezra was getting upset. He's like, man,
these people ain't no better than yours.
These people ain't no better than ours, but you gave us the Torah. Why you giving them power? Why you letting them have dominion over us? Ezra was asking some serious questions. Go ahead.
Verse 29, Second Ezra 3, verse 29. For when I came thither and had seen impieties without number, then my soul saw many evildoers in this 30th year, so that my heart failed me. For I have seen how you suffer them sinning, and have spared wicked doers, and have destroyed your people, and have preserved your enemies, and have not signified it.
You guys, some of you have asked yourself the same questions. And see, Ezra already asked these questions, the same question you've been asking yourself. See, if you don't get this book and start reading the book of the upright, you wouldn't even know this. You wouldn't even have no understanding. Excuse me, read Ezra, the Sefer.
Fourth Ezra.
If you wouldn't read fourth Ezra, how would you know? This is why they took our books from us.
But notice how he is praying to the Most High.
Yeah,
he is asking deep questions that are troubling to his soul.
And the Most High is giving him answers.
Yes. Verse 31, 2nd Ezra 3:31. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babel better than they of Zion?
Come on.
Or is there any other people that knows you beside Yesharel? Or what generation has so believed your covenants as Jacob? And yet their reward appears not, and their labor has no fruit.
Come on.
For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth.
Come on.
And think not upon your commandments.
What do we see today?
The very same thing.
Very same thing. The heathens flow in wealth, and they do not think anything on the Most High commandments. 34.
Weigh therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there's also that dwell the world, and so shall your name nowhere be found but in Yasharel. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in your sight?
Come on.
Or what people have so kept your commandments? You shall find that Yasharel by name has kept your precepts, but not the heathen.
Set forth Ezra, 2nd Ezra, chapter 4. And the angels that were sent to me, whose name was Uriel, gave me an answer. So what would the angels always do?
Give an answer.
And said, your heart has gone too far in this world. He says, what now? He says, your heart. What does that mean to you when he said that?
What, his heart?
Yeah, what he's saying is going too far in this world.
What he's saying, you going too far.
You're going too far. Ask me all these questions. You're going too far. Ask me all these questions. And think you can comprehend the way of El Elyon? Then said I, yea, my Adonai. And he answered me and said, I am sent to show you 3 ways and to set forth 3 similitudes before you. Wherefore, if you can declare me one, I will show you also the way that you desire to see. And I will show you from whence the wicked heart comes. And I said, tell on, my Adonai. Then said he to me, go your way, weigh me the weight of fire, or measure me the blast of wind, or call to me again the day that is past. Then answered I and said, what man is able to do that you should ask such a thing of me? And he said to me, if I should ask you how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, or how many springs are in the beginning of the depth, or how many springs are above the expanse, or which are the outgoings of paradise, perchance you would say to me, I never went down into the deep, nor yet into Sheol, neither did I ever climb up into heaven. Nevertheless, now I have asked you but only of fire and wind, and the day of wherewith you have passed, and of the things from which you cannot be separated. And yet, can you give me no answer of them? And he said, moreover, to me, your own things and such are grown up with, you cannot know. So he said, basically, I'm asking you things that you came up with, but you can't even give me an answer. And you've been through this world. It's verse 11. I'm in 4th Ezra, 2nd Ezra, chapter 4, verse 11. It says, how should your vessel then be able to comprehend the way of El Elyon? And the world being now outwardly corrupted, to understand the corruption that is evident in my sight. Then said I to him, it was better that we were not at all than that we should live still in wickedness, and to suffer, and not know wherefore. And he answered me and said, I went into a forest, into a plain, and the trees took counsel and said, come, let us go up and make war against the sea, that it may depart away before us, and that we may make us more woods. The floods of the sea also in like manner took counsel and said, come, let us go to subdue the woods of the plain, that there also we may make to us another country. The thought of the woods was in vain, and the fire came and consumed it. The thought of the wood of the floods of the sea came likewise to naught, for the sand stood up and stopped them. If you were judged now betwixt these two, whom you would begin to justify, whom would you condemn? And I answered and said, truly, it is a foolish thought that they both have devised, for the ground is given to the wood, and the sea also has its place to bear his floods. Then answered he to me and said, you have given the right judgment, but why judge ye not yourselves also? For like as the ground is given to the wood and the sea to the floods, even so they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that which is upon the earth. And he that dwells above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the heights of the heavens. Then answered I and said, I beseech you, O Yahuwah, let me have understanding, for it was not my mind to be so curious of the high things, but such as to pass us daily, namely, Wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen. And as for what caused the people whom you have loved is given over to the wicked nations. And why the Torah of our fathers is brought to naught, and the written covenants come to no effect. And we pass away out of this world as grasshoppers, and our life is astonishment and fear, and we are not worthy to obtain mercy. What will he then do to his name whereby we are called? Of these things have I asked. Then answered he me and said, the more you search, the more you shall marvel, for the world hastens fast to pass away, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in the time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities, but concerning the things whereof you ask me, I will tell you, for the evil is sown, but the destruction therewith is not yet come. And therefore, that which is sown is not turned upside down. He said, if it ain't turned upside down, and if the place where evil is sown passes not away, then cannot it come that it is sown with good. For the grain of the evil seed has been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. And how much wickedness has it brought upon this time? And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of the threshing come? Because this is truly the time of the threshing. The wheat and the tare is being separated. Ponder now by yourself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed has brought forth. And when the ears shall be sown, which are without number, how great the floor shall they fill? Then I answered and said, how and when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are your years few and evil? And he answered me, saying, this is the angel Uriel who's talking to him. And Uriel said to me, saying, do not you hasten above El Elyon? For your haste is in vain to be above him, for you have much exceeded. He's saying you asking questions that's above your pay grade. This is what he's saying. 34. And he answered to me, saying, do not you hasten above Elyon, for your haste is in vain and to be above him, for you have much exceeded. 35. Did not the souls also of the righteous ask questions of these things in the chamber, saying, how long shall we hope on this fashion? When it comes to the fruit of the floor of our reward. And to these things Uriel, the archangel, gave them an answer and said, even when the number of the seeds is filled in you, for got this, it says, even when the number of seeds is filled in you, for he has weighed the world in the balances. By measure, he has measured the times. By the number, he has numbered the times. And he does not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. What does that mean, Sister Micaiah? Everything has a place.
Everything, there's a set time for everything. That's just
Ecclesiastes chapter 3.
Out recently.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3. There's a time to love and time not to love. There's a time to hug and time not to hug. There's a time to know and there's a time not to know.
Well, when there's certain judgments, there's a set time for that judgment to play out.
Right. And so it has to play out. I don't know why that did that.
What verse you on?
I'm on 38. 2nd Ezra chapter 38. I don't know why my live went away here. That is so weird. Hold on 1 second, folks. I don't know why the live went away. Hold on 1 second here. Go ahead and read, Sister Micaiah.
All right. 4th Ezra chapter 4, verse 38. Then answered I and said, O Yahuwah Adonai, we all are full of sin, and for our sakes, perchance it is that the floors of the righteous are not filled, because of the sins of them that dwell upon the earth. So he answered me and said, go your way to a woman with child, and ask of her when she has fulfilled her 9 months, if her womb may keep the birth any longer within her. Then said I, no, Adonai, that can she not. And he said to me, in Sheol, the chambers of souls are like the womb of a woman. For like as a woman who travails makes haste to escape the necessity of the travail, Even so do these places hasten to deliver those things that are committed to them. From the beginning, look what you desire to see, it shall be showed you. Then answered I and said, if I have found favor in your sight, and if it be possible, and if I be meet therefore, show me then whether there be more to come than is past, or more past than is to come.
Mm-hmm.
What is past I know, but what is for to come I know not. And he said to me, stand up upon the right side, and I shall expound the similitude to you. So I stood and saw, and behold, a hot burning oven passed by before me. And it happened that when the flame was gone by, I looked, and behold, the smoke remained still. After this, there passed by before me a watery cloud, and sent down much rain with a storm. And when the stormy rain was past, the drops remained still.
Yes.
Then said he to me, consider with yourself, as the rain is more than the drops, and as the fire is greater than the smoke. But the drops and the smoke remain behind. So the quantity which is past did more exceed. Then I prayed and said, may I live, do you think, until that time? Or what shall happen in those days? He answered me and said, as for the tokens whereof you asked me, I may tell you of them in part. But as touching your life, I am not sent to show you, for I do not know it.
Yeah, I think these people doing some of my okay, it says resume.
Yeah, I'm sure they are disrupting the live on purpose.
All praises. What number are you on?
I just finished chapter 4.
Okay. Verse 5, it says, nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come, that which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number. And the way of the truth shall be what? Hidden. And the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which you now see, or that you have heard long ago. And the land that you see now have root. Now to have root shall you see wasted suddenly. But if El Elyon grant you to live, you shall see after the third shofar that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. And the blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. And even he shall rule whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth. And the fowls shall be taken in their flight away together. And the Sodomish sea shall cast out fish and make noise at night, which many have not known, but they shall hear the voice thereof. Verse 8, there shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out again. So what's happening right now? There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of fires, right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You see, these are the times. And the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrel's woman shall bring forth monsters, and salt water shall be found sweet, and all the friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself in the secret chambers. Verse 10, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Wit is what? Wisdom is not being found. And shall the unrighteous and inconsistency be multiplied upon the earth. One land also shall ask another and say, is it righteousness that makes a man righteous gone through you? And it shall say, no. At the same time shall man hope, but not obtain nothing. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. To show you such tokens, I have leave. And if you now will pray again, and weep as now, and fast 7 days, you shall hear yet greater things.
And see, we're in that time because people are going to work, they're laboring, and they're not prospering
at all. Go ahead and read, Sister Makai.
All right, 14. 2 Ezra 5, verse 14. It says, then I awoke, and an extreme fearfulness went through all my body, and my mind was troubled, so that it fainted. So the angel that was come to talk with me held me, comforted me, and set me up upon my feet. And in the second night it came to pass that Shealtiel, the captain of the people, came to me, saying, Where have you been? And why is your countenance so heavy? Know you not that Yasharel is committed to you in the land of their captivity? Up then and eat bread, and forsake us not, as the shepherd that leaves his flock in the hands of cruel wolves. Then said I to him, Go your ways from me, and come not nigh me. And he heard what I said, and went from me. And so I fasted 7 days, mourning and weeping, like as Uriel the angel commanded me. And after 7 days, so it was that the thoughts of my heart were very grievous to me again. And my soul recovered the Ruach Banah, which is the spirit of understanding. And I began to talk with El Elyon again, and said, O Yahuwah Adonai, of every wood of the earth and of all the trees thereof, you have chosen only one. You have chosen one only vine, and of all the lands of the whole world, you have chosen one pit, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily. And of all the depths of the sea, you have filled one river. And of all built cities, you have hallowed Zion to yourself. And of all the fowls that are created, you have named one dove. And of all the cattle that are made, you have provided one sheep.
Come on.
And among all the multitudes of people, you have
I want y'all to get this.
One people. And to this people whom you loved, you gave one Torah that is approved of all.
Yes.
And now, O Yahuwah, why have you given this one people over to many? And upon the one root have you prepared others? And why have you scattered your only one people?
Ezra asked questions that we would ask. You see this? Go ahead.
29. And they which did gainsay your promises and believed not your covenants have trodden them down. If you did so much hate your people, yet should you punish them with your own hands.
Chapter 30, verse 31. It says, Now when I had spoken these words, the angel that came to me at night afore was sent to me and said to me, Hear me, and I will instruct you. Hearken to these things that I say, and I shall tell you more. And I said, Speak on, my Adonai. Then said he to me, You are sore trouble in mind for Israel's sake. Love you that the people better than he that made them? And I said, No, Adonai, but of very grief I have spoken. For my mind pains me every hour while I labor to comprehend the way of El Elyon and to seek out the part of his judgment. And he said to me, You cannot. And I said, Wherefore, Adonai? Whereunto I was born then? Or why was not my mother's womb then given my grave? Then gave me my grave, that I might not have seen the travail of Jacob, and the worrisome toil of the stock of Israel.
So he's asking, why was I ever born?
Why was I even born? And he said to me, Number me the things that are not yet come. Gather me together the dross that are scattered abroad. Make me the flowers green again that are withered. Open me the places that are closed. Bring me forth the winds that in them are shut up. Show me the image of the voice. He said, show me the image of the voice. And then when I declare to you the thing that you labor to know, if you can do that, then will I declare these things to you. And I said, O Yahuwah Adonai, who may know these things, but he that is not dwelling with men. As for me, I am unwise. How may I then speak of these things wherefore you ask of me? Then said he to me, like as you can do none of these things that I have spoken of, even so can you not find out my judgments, or in the end of the love that I have promised to my people. And I said, Behold, O Yahuwah, yet are you nigh to them that be reserved till the end. And what shall they do that have been before me, or we that be now, or they that shall come after us? And he said to me, I will liken my judgment to a ring. Like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there's no swiftness to the first. So I answered and said, Could you not make those that have been made and be now, and that they are to come at once, that you may show your judgment the sooner. So what he's saying is, why don't you just make everybody one time? Go ahead and read, Sister Micaiah.
Verse 44. It says, then answered he me and said, the creature may not haste above the maker, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein.
Yes.
And I said, as you have said to your servant, that you which give life to all have given life at once to the creature that you have created, and the creature bore it, even so it might now also bear them that now be present at once. And he said to me, ask the womb of a woman and say to her, if you bring forth children, why do you it not together?
Y'all see this here? How the Most High, boy, how he put things together?
But one after another.
Yes.
Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once.
Come on.
And I said, she cannot, but must do it by distance of time. Then said he to me, come on. Even so have I given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it. Come on. In their times. Come on. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the age, even so have I disposed the world which I created. Come on. And I asked and said, seeing you have now given me the way, I will proceed to speak before you. For our mother, of whom you have told me that she is young, draws now nigh to age. He answered me and said, ask a woman who bears children, and she shall tell you. Say to her, wherefore, or which means why? Are to they whom you have now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? Yes. And she shall answer you. They that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion. Yes. And they that are born in the time of age, when the womb fails, are otherwise. Remember in the earth in the beginning, the giants was bigger. We were bigger. Everybody was much bigger, taller, because the earth was new and young. So we were much bigger, stronger, and we lived longer. Yeah. Go ahead and read. Consider, I'm on verse 54. Consider therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you, and so are they that come after you less than ye, as the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. Then said I, Adonai, I beseech you, if I have found favor in your sight, show your servant by whom you visit your creature. All right, we're going to stop right there. So we need to make a note that we need to go to chapter 6 next. All praise to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All right. So on that note, we're going to, when we come back again, we're going to pick up on chapter 6 of 4th Ezra, 2nd Ezra. All praise to the Most High. All right. So we got somewhere we need to be today, but I want to go ahead and say a prayer whenever my wife gets situated there. I don't know what moment. She's taking a note real quick. We're going to pray out and then we have a little conversation. One thing that's important to read right now is that, and understand, is that no one can comprehend the ways of the Most High. You know, as he told Ezra, you don't even understand where the four winds come from. You don't know the way to fire. So how can you be asking me these questions when you can't understand things you came up with? You ask me heavenly things. Folks, right now, the Most High is revealing a lot of heavenly things. And a lot of things that were sealed are being revealed right now. And so our thing is that we got to walk in righteousness to be able to receive them. And saying that, we got to go and find those hidden treasures. We got to go ahead and get these storehouses of knowledge that's been stored up for us in these last days where there's many highways of knowledge. And that's what it's all about. We're going to pray out real quick. Dear Heavenly Father in heaven, blessed be you, Adonai Yahuwah. Thank you for bringing us together again on this Sabbath and giving us this beautiful lesson. Thank you for giving us understanding, Abba, and giving us wisdom to understand that there's things that are going on that we cannot comprehend. It's above our pay grade. But those things that you do want us to know, Abba, you've taught us through this lesson that you come to a man or a woman in a dream or a vision and you seal their instruction. Your wisdom is immense, Abba. You separated light from darkness in the beginning. You created all the fishes and the fowls of the earth. You put all things under subjection of man, and you made us, Heavenly Father, over all things. But yet we transgressed against you, Abba, being the children of Adam who sinned first. Heavenly Father,
us being all the Adams and Chavs that are left of this earth, Eves. I pray, Heavenly Father, you forgive us of our sins. Guide us, Heavenly Father, and give us that hidden manna that stored up wisdom and knowledge so that we can navigate through these times. I pray that you send the angels to us like you sent Uriel to Ezra. And as you sent all the other angels to your other servants, Abba, to give them understanding. I pray, Heavenly Father, that you send your supreme angel, your son, your child, Yeshua, the Holy Spirit to us. The 7 ministering angels, the 7 spirits that come and go, as Isaiah told us, to teach us, to guide us. I pray, Abba, that we're found worthy to receive this wisdom, knowledge, so that we can be faithful to the end. Thank you for all the things you do for us, Heavenly Father. Thank you for the family that's here right now. Thank you for the leadership and guidance, Abba, for we have pastors that have really sent us astray. We have been the lost sheep, Abba, but now you've got us in green pastures. Bless you and bless the kingdom. Bless all that you ordained. In the name of your son, Yeshua, I pray. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
All praise to the Most High. It's been a good lesson today. All praises. We got a lot of understanding today. How do you feel about that today, Sister Micaiah? Beautiful. All praise to the Most High. Tomorrow we have a men's study, if it's the Most High's will, at 1:00. We'll come on. Sister Micaiah, you said you got a meeting as well. What time?
Committee meeting is at 1 for the Tabernacles.
Okay, so
to finalize things.
Yeah, just to finalize things. And guys, if you're not, you guys can always go back. She's going to record it so you can look at it as well. Also, the Tabernacle is October the 13th, 10th through the 13th. So we're looking forward to that as well.
And if you like we said in the beginning, if you have not finished paying and you plan to attend, please get your final payments in before the 5th if possible, because we want to finish paying for it no later than that date.
Yes.
Also tomorrow between 4:30 and 5 we'll be going live as well.
So you guys can pay through the kingdommissionsholdings.org, or you can pay through the Zelle, which is the ministry number 770-276-5840. Or you guys can pay through the Cashapp, which is $YHS Will WLL46. So you can pay those ways and just kind of get it in so we can go ahead and get Tabernacle secured. Also, guys and gals, don't forget we need food. We need donations for food. We've gotten some donations. But we need more because we got a lot of people this year, though we're not.
Yeah, it's about 100 people coming.
More than that. I think it's over 100. Yeah. So we're going to need all your help and support from the ministry, okay? If you guys take value in the ministry, we ask that you just help a little bit. I don't put burdens on people asking for a big dollar amount because I know a lot of people don't have. I always feel that the Most High provide and he'll give us what we need, right or wrong, Sister Micaiah? And so that's why I don't put that. There's only $30 a day for Tabernacle. That's what we require. $120 total. Some people are only doing a couple of days or so, whatever it may be. But we all are required to give when we come to the feast days. All praise to the Most High. What else you got, Sister Micaiah?
That pretty much does it. I'll be sending the Zoom link out to the committee members today.
All praise to the Most High. So one thing we got out of this lesson today, what'd you get out of the lesson today, Sister Micaiah? Just asking your opinion.
Well, it's a lot, especially that breakdown of Joseph's name.
That's right.
I had no idea.
I know. That's why I want to break it down.
Yeah, and it is very parallel. Do you see the relationship between the old and the new?
That's right.
They are very relative to each other.
That's right. And just like Joseph stored up grain, just like he stored up things in the storehouse for a famine, we're learning that we are in a spiritual famine. We're in a famine where a lot of knowledge and wisdom is just not there. There's been a flood of disinformation. So we also learned that there's storehouses in heaven of wisdom and knowledge, which is called hidden what? Manna. So just like Joseph stored up grain in the silos, we need to do it in our temples because we are the new temple. We're the new silos. Now we need to store up that wisdom. All praise to the Most High.
Yep.
All right. On that note, we're going to say Shabbat Shalom. We want to thank everybody for joining us. Really good lesson today. I apologize to people here on my TikTok for going out.
Somebody said they are full. Thank you.
But this was a really edifying lesson today with a lot of deeper understanding of why it's important not only to read the Bible, the King James 16:11 with the Apocrypha, or the book that we get that Jeremiah gave us, which is the Sefer with 81 different books in it. It's important to read them and have a deeper understanding of what we're supposed to know, since this is our profession. What the handmaiden service is supposed to know, since they're going to be joining us. All praises to the Most High. On that note, we're going to say, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom. All praises. Good lesson.